Both players, as Robo said, have selected the British. And I'm looking forward to seeing why, because, as I said, 2 town centers. You start with your ordinary TC, but you also get a TC wagon. And I think the best way to show this would be to just sort of jump in there and get in and have a look. So, it will be British versus British on Ceylon, which is quite an unusual map that we don't see sort of too often.
No, like, I would have expected more of like a water-heavy civ.
Right.
To be chosen for this map, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Britain's.
I mean, they do have water potential. Like, the British have schooners is a thing. Really, on EP, any civ can make a dock and start training fishing boats as they're reduced from 100 wood to 70 wood. But they're not like, you know, the Portuguese or something like that.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday Smackdown, which is actually happening on a Saturday.
It's just Smackdown. It's not Sunday Smackdown, it's Smackdown.
Yeah, I suppose.
Regardless of the day.
Yeah, I've called it Smackdown a lot, though, in the past. Or Sunday Smackdown. Or, I've basically attributed a day to it a lot in the past. But, yeah, it will be a British mirror, and you can see immediately they start with their extra covered wagon, which is basically what happens on this patch. And just to remind you, we don't always do wacky changes like this, but today we are. And also, there are some lesser changes to politicians, which we'll cover as and when they're relevant. But immediately, it looks like both players, Robo, have put their dude inside the catamaran and have deposited him on the coast here. Looks like Aizamk's bringing a vill with him as well.
Interesting. Doesn't want to drop the manors at home, get the extra villagers going on his existing resources, on the food he knows he has. Wanting to take more control in the middle, it seems?
I think the idea here is, you know, you get a free villager every time you build a house.
Yep.
Okay, I'm about to contradict myself because he is building a house on the land as well. Just have one villager dedicated to building houses, and that way they don't need to be transported from this island, right?
Later in the game, so they're just always constantly
They're just already here. Like, all your houses would be here, save some villager seconds, but he is going to place a manor at home anyway. Maybe he just needs to get it out ASAP. There's no sense in waiting. Want to get up to the next stage. But both players are going to put their TCs really coastal, it looks like.
Well, you sort of want to defend your fish a little bit, right? Oh, hold on. It seems Ham needs me.
Okay. Robo will be back shortly then, I suppose. But 100 XP, a woodblock printing of a beautiful woman. What? I've never seen that treasure before. That's quite exciting. But 100 XP all the same to Aizamk there. Now being chased down by, pardon me, to Somppu. Now being chased down by Aizamk. Let's switch Control-Shift-F on, and we'll see them basically scout the map as and when it happens. So this is interesting because usually players sort of know what they're doing, where they're going to scout, where to go. But Ceylon, it seems a bit different. It seems really unusual. You start on your island and then you basically are exploring the wilderness, more or less. Which I think is quite exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this sort of plays out. Both players have now sent 3 villagers. And I think it will be a good time to check their deck. So Virginia Company coming in for Somppu. It's worth pointing out you start with bonus XP on this map. So going for 2 shipments at the start of the game is actually not as hard as it would seem on other maps. So you can get away with something like Virginia Company. As you can see, Somppu is going to have enough. Looks like he's got a villain queue, and then this will start aging up. So he should be able to get away with Virginia Company for free. Let's take a look at his deck. So fairly normal stuff here. Lots of water potential, though. So it looks like Somppu is going to be playing this out on the water with lots of upgrades, etc., etc. The only unusual cards, I think, are estates, which makes manors train villagers very slowly, but it is an industrial card as well as heavy fortifications. Let's take a look at Aizamk's deck before we get into the colonial age here. Somppu's still not aging up. Oh, he's taking his sweet time. Has he been on wood this whole time? He's really, really taking his time to get up to the next stage there, whereas Aizamk sort of rushed up immediately. I think what's happened, Robo, is that one player... Yes, welcome back. I forgot that you weren't on the screen. One player has decided to use their second TC to make villagers, And the other player, Aizamk, who's aging up much more quickly, has decided not to. He's just going to use 1 TC like usual, and is just going to get up much, much quicker and start getting those shipments rolling, which might be really strong.
Yeah, if you can try to do that early damage, but Somppu might quickly start to, get ahead in
terms of
in villages.
Well, you've had some experience with this in terms of, Age of Empires 2, right? What usually happens when you start with 2 TCs there? Because I doubt anyone would skip using it.
No, you don't skip vills, but it's a lot faster because vills, I feel, are cheaper. Or they're obviously cheaper in AoE too.
Yeah, 50.
So you just keep going and you sort of just skip the second age normally.
Yeah.
You just sort of get up to castle, or I guess fortress in this case, as quickly as possible to have...
So you basically do a Dark Age and then gather all the resources so that when you hit... Like, make enough villages so that when you hit feudal, you basically click up to castle immediately.
You just go straight up as quickly as possible. Try to abuse the strong eco you have to get tech upgrades and more powerful units.
Schooners coming in for Somppu. This is incredibly boomy here. He's going for Virginia Company, followed by a really, really powerful water upgrade, I suppose.
Did he really make that many manas, though?
No, he's not made...
I'm not sure if Virginia Company really seems worth it.
Well, it's now going to start paying off, I suppose, because every villager is tasked to wood.
Right, but he also needs to spend wood on the dock and fishing ships.
That's true. So where is he?
Do both, right?
You're right. Where is he going to get units? We completely missed this. I feel like a scrub. Looks like Aizamk. Yeah, so in AoE2, you don't get shipments and politician bonuses. So aging up fast, perhaps it's better in AoE3 because of that. And here he's gone 700 wood, 600 wood just for a sort of normal boom. And with the, the leftover resources, has started making these units to be aggressive against Somppu, who is scrambling his villages now.
And what are these units? They are something that I've never seen before.
They're a bit like muskets. They say just a standard ranged attack with hand attack against cavalry bonuses.
Okay. And where did he get these from?
The Saloon. So they cost 5 population each and are 90 gold, so they're really expensive, right, in terms of pop and in terms of cost. But they're quite unexpected.
Well, yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting that.
I wasn't. Well, I didn't really think to look for a saloon. Like, where is it, is the question. Oh, no, he trained it from the catamaran. That's why we didn't notice it.
The catamaran can train
The catamaran can train marathon dacoits like these. It can train Doug the orangutan, which is a 200 food orangutan. That's quite...
You can get an orangutan.
Yeah, I think there's another unit too. I completely forgot that you could train units from the catamaran. Only A's would remember that that's a thing. And this barracks is going to get denied here, but 2 caravels does come in just in time, but will it be enough to save, just in time to save the barracks? He's just trying to get out of range. He really wants to take this foundation down, but I really think he's paid for it in terms of longbow deaths. Does get the racks though, but that's 3 longbows.
I feel like that's probably worth it though, because that slows down any sort of defense that Somppu can do, right?
Yeah.
Like now he needs to build a whole new barrack somewhere else, which he doesn't seem to be doing at the moment.
And to follow up that pressure, he's delayed the barracks, and now he's going to be able to kill essentially, well, 3 villages, but all of these, if they siege down these basically fully HP houses, that's like killing another villager almost. But there are caravels nearby. That's a really, really helpful shipment for Somppu. And that's sort of what's going to save him here. Let's take a look. Let's go. I think we need to switch it over to all units so that we can keep track of just what's going on here. So Ace does have a barracks, but Sompu's not managed to get one down. But what he has got are 2 docks here. One on the mainland and one on his island. He's starting to spam a lot of fishing boats. He's got 8 fishing boats.
But he's still behind.
And he's losing...
Ecopop, though.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of villages, right? And A's, he hasn't been slacking on his boom. He sent 700 wood, 600 wood, and 5 villages.
So I'm not sure if Sompu's plan is really going to work out here, because, like, as we say, like, A's is out. He's got the military aggression. He's killed enough villages that he is equal, if not ahead.
Yeah.
Almost, before this 5 villager shipment that just came in, pushing Sompu back in the lead a little bit here.
It's interesting, right? I think Sompu has more potential, just given that he's sent schooners and has Virginia Company, so the houses are just much cheaper, the boats are as well, so probably can get ahead. So A's needs to do some sort of work in the meantime with his units, and that's exactly what he's been doing with those dacoits and the longbows. He's now sent 2 caravels of his own, and if they can start really threatening the fish, that's going to be really, really strong for him. But Sompu gets up an outpost just in time, which is going to basically deny Swan and Matthew from being too effective. Although he does snipe another Villy there.
So it takes a couple of hits from the watchtower. or outpost, sorry, which is going to make it a little difficult to take an engagement against Somppu's own caravels.
He's going to have to avoid them for the time being, isn't he? They can still sort of roam the map and be really, really irritating. Yeah, here they find stuff to do. Gonna kill that explorer there. So they are on the map, and that means the fishing boats, I guess, can't roam too far from the outposts and from the shoreline and the docks. Those caravels can be... Well. That's true.
Like between like the outposts on the left and then the 2 TCs on the right, there's that big open area of ocean here that's pretty well defended, I think.
Yeah. What, over here?
Yeah, just like that's sort of like south corner of the map.
And here, just going to build up his infrastructure next to the island. They're going to put down a stable now. Let's go to shipment sent here and units in queue. So Somppu now starting to train musks at his barracks. Bit of a engagement with the boats there. Offshore support now coming in for A's. So I think we should like take a top-level perspective of sort of what's been going on here. Looks like A's decided to just go up to the colonial age at an ordinary time without using his TC to make use of the the politician bonus much more quickly, and of course the shipments. Got lots of houses down and sent 5 villages, so not slacking on his boom, but not using that initial TC to start with, and was able to be aggressive early on. Musk's coming out though, but quickly going to get cleaned up by these longbows. They're going to have to retreat to the outpost and to the caravels on the coast there. But what was I going to say? AZ was still able to be aggressive because that catamaran can train units, which is really something I'd forgotten about.
Just unexpected units popping out really quickly.
Yeah. And I think Sompu's game plan is a bit different. He's gone with clearly, Virginia Company and schooners, which is incredibly greedy. He's looking for a really, really strong boom, and he thinks that the unfamiliarity of Ceylon and possibly having an extra TC and one of which is defended on, an island. It makes it hard for your opponent to get to. Cheers, B-Winner, coming in with the subscription or resubscription there.
Right,
Thank you very
actually
much.
gifting B-Winner the sub.
Oh.
But on the right-hand side, Sompu's going like full outpost defense along the shoreline. He's dropping 2 more outposts there to secure his manners, I guess, and a little bit more of the ocean there.
Just to, these are definitely for the ocean. Obviously, it helps out on the land as well, but, just securing the fish, because his game plan, as we were saying, is just to get ahead, ahead in eco, and he's starting to do that. He's got 90. He's going to lose a few fishing ships here.
Oh, that's a lot of caravels.
Yeah, but this is why he needs these outposts, just to basically just defend against something like this. But A's, he's coming in now. He switched from land aggression. He's been massing up caravels, clearly. I think we need to put all units on and leave it on.
And it looks like A's might be able to take this down. He's got the pikemen here as well, adding a little bit of siege damage.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, there's some muskets. Sompu's raiding the villages.
Oh, but there's a couple of longbow there to clean that up pretty quickly.
But looks like he's right-clicked on the treasure by mistake, so he's got Mother Nature on his side.
Oh.
It's all right, they'll reset. But yeah, back to the fight over here. You're right, the pikemen really did help. Just a bit of land support to take down the outposts. And now, this is quite a number of caravels. In fact, all 5 with both offshore support and improved warships in. Now, has also got armor plating and is getting carronade as well. So these are going to be soon really very strong caravels.
And at the same time, A's has his own outpost that he can retreat to if he needs to for some extra defensive pressure if he feels like he's losing control
of the water. Yeah, where is it? You can flare them if you like.
Flare button, yes, thank you for pointing that out. Just here.
Oh yeah, he's got a stockpile of outposts there. Sompu desperately trying to throw up some more outposts. He doesn't want to lose any more fish control. But this is a lot of boats. I really like how A's has played this out. And now A's getting upgrades in for his boats as well, rendering plant for the fishing ships.
Ooh, so he's going to maybe switch in. He's got a little bit of a fish boom going on at home as well. But with these caravels, he's just going to start to clean up these fishing ships. He can just back away from these outposts and start picking them off where they're just so vulnerable here. Yeah. Nothing to defend them.
Just let the land units clean up the outposts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he's doing. A couple of caravels over here. Sompu's going to lose his eco lead, which was basically his whole game plan here. He spent a lot trying to get that. This is looking really, really nice for A's. But what Sompu has got going is a few hussars. He's gotten some land units. He's been harassing A's.
Trying to pick up some vills here and there, but there's just so many fish going down constantly.
Yeah, it doesn't compare, right?
No, it's not even at all.
Here
Plus,
comes
the huge military aggression taking down these outposts nearby.
Let's compare the stats of these. Say, Aizamk's caravels have 1,400 hit points and 127 damage. Not these ones have, well, nothing now.
They had 1,000 HP and I think 93 attack.
Yeah, so much less.
So 400 extra HP and about an extra 30 damage per shot.
Yeah, A's quickly responding with some pikemen to the raids. He will catch that. We'll lose a couple of vills, it looks like, but that's fine, because there's 3 hussars here which will go down, which is more than a fair trade.
And yeah, I think he's happy with any trade. Like, he kills a couple of vills and he's destroying, you know, 6 or 7 fishing ships every second.
Yeah, Somppu coming forward with another batch of cav, but is going to be met by Longbow Pike again, trying to just keep control of the water with some outposts. He's got 2 docks here, which is going to be really helpful in a town center, now calling Minutemen as well. But Ace is now pulling ahead in eco.
Oh, far, far ahead.
Yeah, and Somppu resigns there. GG. Aizamk gonna pick up the first game. That was really, like, Ace had a game plan and it worked out really, really well. You found every single vill. Nice. Ham, can we load up the chat again? I'd like to see that. That'd be good. Well done to Aizamk. That was really, like, I kind of thought the game would go on much longer than usual because we're on Ceylon.
Well, not necessarily, right? Because whoever has the first, I guess, water aggression really gets a significant advantage, right? If you're the first person to get 5 caravels and then the first person to get those upgrades, you can just start destroying them, as we saw.
Yeah, 5 caravels is really strong. Can I see the chat? Sort of. It's kind of like slightly too far down the screen. It needs to be pulled upwards a bit. GG out. I'm going to head on out as well. Yeah, he just sort of didn't do anything fancy, just decided, right, I'm going to get to the next stage as usual, and it looked like, yeah, that's a bit too far over. It's really fat. I think it needs to be, like, shrunk down a bit.
Like, one interesting, like, I know you can't see this,
yeah,
but
like that.
if you did look at the post-game achievement, even though Somppu was
now it's
going
gone full screen
for such a big boom, at basically every stage of the game, A's still had more resources gathered.
Yeah.
So even with the boom, Somppu wasn't really getting ahead.
Left. Right.
As much as he would have liked.
Yeah. Okay, right. Sorry for talking over you.
Yeah, no worries. Just
now we've got Twitch
ignore
chat.
the co-caster.
Next is Arkansas.
Arkansas. That's the one we like.
Arkansas, I think, is how it's actually pronounced.
Yeah, but that's just silly pronunciation. There's an S, not a W.
Yeah, those silly Americans. Oh, actually, it might be those silly French. I think that might be
could be those two.
The origin of it.
Seeing the GGs in the chat as they catch up to the end of the game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how, like, if players will actually use the TCs. Obviously, you will use it once you're up to Colonial, but I don't know if you necessarily use it in the Discovery Age, just because it, like, will delay your age up, like, by a lot. I was playing against Bramboy. We were testing the patch out. Streamed, like, I think about 9 games in the end. And Bramboy decided, we were both using the TC in the end, but it just seemed that if you, like, maybe don't bother, like, go up on the same number of vills or maybe 1 extra that you would normally go up on, you just have so much more tempo off the back of those shipments that you get that you just sort of seem to take map control, and it just seems really, really strong.
If they make their covered wagon TC somewhat defensive, like defending a hunt, defending a coin mine, I don't think going up, with 2 or 3 extra vills is going to hurt you that much,
that's
right?
the question, isn't it? Do you make, how many do you make? Do you make, like, just non-stop, or do you make a couple?
Well, I think if you do non-stop, then you're not going to click up for a long, long time, right?
Right.
But I think making, 2 or 3 extra villages, so, you maybe delay your age up by 30 seconds, maybe a minute, I think that could work out if you have a defensive enough map.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? And maybe, like, the maps play into it as well. Like, on Ceylon, would we see something different to, say, Arkansas, which is...
Well, I think you definitely will.
A really, really standard map.
Obviously, there's no boats.
Yeah.
No ship combat, no fishing, eco possibility there. So it balances out, I think, in terms of what you're going to go for based on the maps. And, also the trading posts. Right? If you made, a forward TC and you could potentially secure the trading posts,
it might be strong.
that could work. You know, if you can find a hunt next to the middle TP, then you're basically guaranteed 2 of them.
Well, like placing a TC right next to one of the trading posts.
Yeah.
Your opponent then can't destroy it, something like that. We shall see. Next up, though, will be Iroquois versus the French on Arkansas. British, pardon me, I say British, I meant Aizamk. Aizamk picked first, winning is the British. So had to go first, picks the French, and Somppu is Iroquois for whatever reason here. So let's keep an eye on it. Something that might be worth doing is, let's say you normally go up on 15 vills. Maybe you do use both TCs, and you get to 15 vills much more quickly than you usually would.
And then you just stop an idle?
Maybe, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what they do. do. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the right-hand side of the map, in the color red, we do indeed have Aizamk playing as the French today. And I'm going to take a look at his deck as soon as he sends his first card, because Aiz, I've seen him do some funky stuff with the France. Maybe we'll see some kind of fast industrial. Maybe we'll see some kind of really aggressive nonsense with this TC right up in Somppu's face as close as he can get it. We'll have to see. It looks like it is heading out into the wilderness there.
Across the map. Maybe just going to secure this forward hunt and mine that he's about to see?
Yeah, or maybe just using it as a scout because he doesn't intend to place it. It's got pretty good line of sight, right? So if he's not going to use his TC like last game, oh no, it is going to go down there. Maybe you just use it as a scout. Somppu, on the other hand, though, his town Travois is now... Is that... I thought that was two sound centers for a second. This one's just... that one was a town Travois. This one's just an ordinary Discovery Travois. So the market and the town center are going to be going down here, which is pretty much what you were talking about, Robo. It looks like that's secured a hunt right next to a TP.
There's even the coin mine just to the other side of the trading line that you can't really see at the moment. He doesn't see that either, but it's there for later in the game.
Which is pretty
good. Once he does notice it, which is nice.
Yeah, looks like he's going to grab himself 60 wood there as well, just sort of standing, waiting for Aizamk to finish it up for him, do all the hard work.
But Aiz might see him here. Yep.
Let's switch on over to units in queue, because if we'll see how many villages it is that they sort of intend to go with. So something interesting, I think Somppu got that. Aiz got that, okay.
Oh.
And that seems deserved since he was going for it. Something you can do is skip your house. Neither player have done that, which makes, especially when you're France, getting the market and the hunting dogs, like basically something you can do every single game without fail, just because French vills, they cost sort of less population anyway. They're only 1 pop, but they're like 0.25 better than usual. So you basically don't need a house for quite some time. And that's also sort of true for Iroquois, although their villages aren't quite as strong. So they will need a house sort of sooner rather than later, especially if they're going to make villages from both TCs.
But so far, I don't think he's really made many villages at all. I think he's made a single vill so far. Maybe he's going to start creating some more now.
He's on, what, the blue player?
Yeah, for Somppu.
Oh, he start with 5, so he's on 11. So he's definitely made, you know, a few.
Okay, he's just made a second one out from his new TC down to the south of the map.
Right, so he has made 1 here. He's going to use it a little bit.
Seems so. And both players... Aiz is actually not queuing any villages.
Is he just saving to go up now? Yeah, he's got the
Like
standard. 14 is the standard as France. So I think what he was doing was just using both TCs to get to... Actually, maybe he's not used this TC.
Yeah, there's no villages anywhere nearby.
Oh, there's one up here. So she's made 2 villages, right? Which are now going to be harassed by the Tomahawk. Yeah, so he's been using both TCs just to get to 14 villages more quickly, but he's going to go up with 14 all the same. Just wants to be up real fast, like we saw last time. And it's actually going to go up with the Philosopher Prince, which costs only 700 food. Normally you see France going up with the 400 wood politician. But here, by the looks of it, because he had all those villages more quickly than usual, he just wants to get up more quickly than usual.
Get up as quickly as possible.
So going to use that. Going to forego the villager second slightly. But also 400 food is going to be really helpful for maintaining production from 2 TCs, whereas 400 wood might not be.
Well, 400 wood, obviously you need it for your buildings, right?
Right. You
want it for your early barracks or a stable, some houses, maybe some more market upgrades. So now he has to spend all that time gathering the wood instead of just getting it shipped in by crates.
That's true. He's gotten 100 wood there, which... He's placed, I think, a house with. Yeah, and calling Minutemen. Okay. So Aiz has got something aggressive or something weird on the cards that he wants the early Minutemen. Perhaps he's going to try and deny TPs or something. They're heading... they're coming down here. He wants a TP up, and he doesn't want his Explorer to die. He's going to bait all of the Guardians towards the Minutemen there. It looks going to crack shot the Black Bear there.
He still might die, though.
He's going to get 100 HP when he hits up to the next stage. But yeah, he dies. And the crack shot from that dude there. He's going to stand back up in a second anyway. But he's going to get the Iroquoise Tomahawk. If he can get that down, that's quite nice, as that provides slight, a few bonuses to nearby Iroquois units. And it has the crack shot as well. And yeah, he's going to be able to get his dude up pretty easily there. But yeah, he's built one house. I wonder if he'll send something then like 700 wood as his first shipment just to make houses with.
But he has got a barracks coming up near his forward TC.
Oh, he
and
gathered.
There's also a war hut coming up from Somppu right next door.
There is.
That's going to somewhat deny these villagers from gathering any wood on this forward wood line.
Forward wood line. Well, I don't think he cares about gathering wood. There's lots at home, right?
That's true, that's true.
It does sort of... Well, it does give him a jumping off point for shipments and units. It could stop... It could be an issue to this TC, but TCs are alright with vills inside. Maybe should be okay. What have we got? 4 Canyas coming in.
Maybe try to pick a vill, but no, A's is paying attention.
Well, maybe too much attention. That's 18 vills inside the TC.
Balling them straight up.
And he's going to do the juggling trick. When you shoot and then drop them out. And then
fire a volley,
and get back in just in time for the tick of the shot of the TC. So you can sort of like double shoot. But 18 CDBs is going to be quite strong.
But that's still just like a ton of his eco not working at the moment.
Yeah, this is still pretty good for Somppu, right? Even if he doesn't kill a vill here, blocking up 18 vills is quite nice. And he's also up here as well. There's 7 vills inside the other TC, so everything... Ace is just not gathering anything at all, and he's already called his Minutemen, remember? So Somppu sort of doesn't have to... That's something he doesn't have from this TC, but maybe that's fine, because he's got another TC which he can call Minutemen
Can always call it from if he needs it.
Yeah. So maybe that's why Aizamk's liberal use of his Minutemen was really...
Yeah, maybe just like a tactical strategy there. I've got a second one if I need it.
Yeah.
I'll just get it out here, try to clean up those Explorer and the Treasure Guardians.
I love your phrasing there. I've got a tactical strategy.
Yeah, instead of a
not tactical.
a non-tactical strategy, exactly.
Yeah, not sure.
These Hussars might get a villager or two out here.
Yeah, but these are the first units he's managed to train, right? Unless he shipped them.
He shipped these 3.
Okay. So these are just going to draw the Tomahawks back, try and get some raiding done. And let's switch on over to recalculated economic unit population here. So we're at 6 minutes 40, and they already have huge sort of mid-game ecos. Not huge, but bigger than usual, right?
But they're both actually pretty equal in recalculated eco pop.
Yeah.
Which is a little surprising. You would expect the French to be getting ahead at this stage of the game. But maybe Somppu's raiding has done enough to get him ahead?
We can take a look at units lost. He managed to kill 1 CDB, but A's got him back with 2 villager kills. So the villagers train at approximately the same sort of speed. Obviously, the blue ones come out more quickly because they're not as good. But like it averages out, and they are about the same. So I'd expect their ecos to grow at similar rates, unless...
Maybe A's just idling his TCs a little bit?
Maybe.
Preferring to get, musket batches in.
He was... Yeah, you're right. He was being idled, wasn't he? But they've both sent 5 and 4 villagers. 700 wood now coming in for Aizamk. Now, the thing about the 2 TCs is it sort of slows the game down a lot. So you can be a bit more greedy.
Well, it sort of does either it speeds it up incredibly fast or it slows it down a lot. Sort of like the 2 extremes of what can happen.
I feel like, on average, it pushes the games longer than the standard ones. So, and Ace is just trying to... And I think civs that do well in the late game will just be better than civs that perhaps aren't. And France is a really strong civ once it gets, really, it scales like really, really well with all the...
But it looks like Ace is taking a pretty good fight here with his Minutemen and all the muskets in this fight. Cleaning up the Aenas and Tomahawks from Somppu.
Aenas and Tomahawks.
Tomahawks, yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
I'm trying to learn how to pronounce these weird units I've never seen before.
Yeah. They're basically archers and a Iroquois musket. Native musket, why not?
Okay.
It performs a similar role. Yeah, he's pushed him back there. It was it a pop of musks? And now training a few crossbows as well. And I'd say France is in the lead here, but with 2 TCs, I think Somppu's still okay.
And remember, he does have that south trading post there. Sorry, south TC near the trading post. He can try to secure that line, get the stagecoach upgrade later in the game if he feels like it.
Yeah, he's definitely poised better to do that, isn't he? There's a lot of resources here.
Just sitting underneath the TC, not being gathered.
Yeah, here comes a villager. He sent 600 resources, which gives you 200 of each, clearly. And Ace just looking for villagers up on the top here. Doesn't find any and is now deciding to sort of come down towards the TC. Right, Cake says Somppu needs a TP. It seems that way, doesn't it?
Seems to be. Getting one villager. And this is just a huge, massive unit here from Ace. What can Somppu really do to counter this?
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot fewer units. And I'm not feeling Team Aena here. There's not too many Tomahawks mixed in, and a batch of 5. Huss is going to be probably what he needs to... He's got the TC nearby for the TC fire, but remember that he can't call Minutemen here, and I think he's going to have to fight this due to the presence of the Hussar, and there's so many red units in the back here. He's just going to lose all of these... infantry attack coming in just in time for Somppu, but I don't think it will be enough.
No, when you've got numbers that are like 4 to 1, I don't think plus 10% HP attack is really going to change anything.
And all the Aena getting cleaned.
Destroyed there.
And fair enough, I would give the GG there as well. Aizamk up 2-0. Shouldn't play Iro, really.
No ST? What's ST?
I don't know. ST.
They're missing something, apparently, that Sompu's not happy with.
I have no idea. ST. It's so nice when I can bring the TC pop to you. Yeah, so Ace is really well known for his sort of unit timings where he combining like a batch of hussars, muskets, minutemen, and a shipment or something, and maybe even like one of those random church techs.
Just to all sync up and get that big push in.
And he's now got a TC he can place anywhere on the map, so he's loving it. Okay, that was a quick game. We won't bother with the post-game there.
Oh boy, so what civs do we think we're going to see coming up?
I think anything that generally likes going to the late game, as I think it's easier to get to the late game. Because you can place both your TCs right next to each other if you really, really need to, or if you really like. And it just gives you a lot more sort of defense. Whereas, like, your opponent's still got the same amount of attack. It's not like they've got more units, or they might have slightly more because of the extra vills. But it's not like, well, but so does the defender.
True.
Right, so it's like the defender has an additional advantage that the attacker doesn't. So any civ that likes to play defensively or actually wants to get to that industrial age sort of late game, I think will be stronger, are my thoughts. So British we've already seen. I think France is a really solid civ.
So the sort of things you're saying, we're probably not going to see Aztecs, Spain, civs like that. You're more likely to see like Boomia.
Yeah, certainly not Spain, and say like the Sioux or something like that. I mean, Aztec is is a weird example because out of all of the native civs, they're the one civ that probably could go to the late game. But yeah, basically none of those, super aggressive civs.
Fair enough. 1 second. It seems that Ham and Zach are putting a TV screen up on the trussing, so there's nobody in the office at the moment, so I don't think we're going to start the game for a little bit.
Well, the game's already open.
I'll just go switch the overlays.
Okay. All right, you go produce the stream and then come back. Not a moment to lose putting TVs up. I'll take another video. There's one on the YouTube channel of like the setting up. I'll show sort of what we've managed to do today as well, but no time to lose. Those guys are setting things up. Is it supposed to be wrecked? Yeah, wreck if you can. Thank you very much, Eddie Holland, coming in with the Riot Coke gifting a subscription to Eddie Holland. Wreck if you, I wrote. Wreck if you can, is what I should have written. Okay, that's Arkansas. Let's take a look at the Bonnie Springs. I didn't spend a few hours yesterday making all the new overlays to not use them. God damn it. I was trying out a few ideas. I think the Bonnie Springs one sounds by sound, high sound. I'm going to assume that everything's fine. Okay, so they're greening in. I guess we'll just start. I can green up Robo because his PC's right next to me. All right. And I guess Robo will be here when he's here. All right, let's get into this. Game number 3 in a best-of-5 series between Somppukunkku and Aizamk. This is the 2-town show match. Players begin with their ordinary starting TC, as well as an additional covered wagon, which is a lot of fun. As I've been saying, I think it favors civs that go or want to go later on in the game, but really we have no idea because we haven't done this before. And if you're interested in seeing how the meta develops with 2 TCs, come back tomorrow. And I guess the rest of this stream as well, because there's an entire tournament tomorrow. So a 64-player bracket's worth of people putting their minds to how this format should be played and what civs benefit the most from an extra TC will be on the cards. But we're going to see Ottoman and Sioux being played, which are sort of 2 civs that I will kind of contradict my thought process here. So Aiz and Somppu don't necessarily agree with my original thoughts that we're more likely to see sort of later game civs. I think Sioux and Otto definitely not super late game civs. And we'll see how that goes. But Ottoman do have the benefit of free villages, which means 2 TCs creating villages for free. That could be good, but I don't know how impactful it would really be, just because they take forever to train, and the Otto eco is fueled by crates, and I can't see an extra TC producing enough villages to really change that in a meaningful way. Obviously, it helps slightly. They're free. It's kind of better than making them.
But like instead of it taking forever to make a villager, now it takes forever divided by 2.
That is true, which is still forever. Yeah.
It's slightly less of forever.
Okay. So, yeah, Robo pretty much sums up my point. I don't think the extra TC is that good for Otto, even though you'd think it would be. Either way, Otto going to get a TP next to this barn. By the way, what do you think of this map, Robo?
It seems a little strange. Like, there's not a lot of coin, it seems. They're all the little copper mines. They've only got the 2,000 coin.
That's the same as a silver mine, actually.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's deceiving, right?
Yeah, okay. I was thinking it would be less, but never mind. But it's all just spread out, it seems. You only get the 1 mine in your base. And then after that, you seem to have to go quite a long distance.
On either side.
Yeah.
That's not too far. I see what you mean, though. There's
like
they're kind of averaged out over the whole map.
Yeah, instead of sort of being concentrated on one side. And like Aiz has already got the sort of forward TC on the left to secure a coin mine.
Yeah.
Whereas for Somppu, he's only got, you know, the 1 that's in his base. Nothing else anywhere nearby that he can easily defend, it seems.
Yeah. I'm wondering what he'll go for with playing Otto in the first place, and also placing it right next to next to each other. Clearly something sort of defensive. He wants them both in the same location, which is making me think some kind of like fast industrial, maybe a revolt. I'd be excited to see that. Somppu now going up with the Quartermaster, so that's standard 400 wood politician. But yeah, Aiz has placed his for more sort of map control next to a gold mine or a coin mine or a copper mine, actually.
We'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
Don't forget the betting.
Aiz is going up with the Messenger, so he's going to age up fast. Don't forget the betting. Whoopsie. Yeah, that's the trouble with no one in the office. What map is this, lol? It's Bonnie Springs. All right, so Aiz going to be up real fast, and it looks like he's going up on 12 villager population here, so he's not really intending to, by the looks of it at least, train too many villagers. In age 1, wants to be up fast and aggressive. So does Ottoman, but it's not like they make the choice. They just go up because their villagers train for free. And Aiz going to put down, or Somppu rather, his second trading post there. But Aiz is going to find it with his Cougar. He knows what's going on. So let's take a look at the deck. Somppu does have that 8 Hussar shipment in there, which is, I think, the biggest tell that fast industrial is an option. Just because you send that, you get 8 Hussars, and then you have revolt, and they all become Imperial Hussar. You get 8 Imperial Hussar, essentially, which is basically... that makes it the strongest shipment in his deck. But you do have to revolt for it to be the case. Looks like, though, Aizamk has sent 7 war clubs. He skipped 3 vills. He's just going up. Like, super aggressive.
Well, I don't know what to say, to be honest.
It seems like it's good because he's going to be able to take down this TP. It's only just been built. And by judging from what Somppu's actually doing, he really wants the XP. And Aze is going to sort of deny that really quickly to make the revolt much less powerful, I suppose.
Maybe Aze is thinking, okay, I know I'm versus the Ottomans. They're not going to have that many villages.
Right.
I could maybe, instead of sending my own villages, be faster on the aggression and try to get in there and pick off whatever few villages they do have.
Yeah, maybe that is what he's thinking. Either way, he's going to take down the TP route. At least that first one there. The war club's now coming forward. They're basically pikemen, so they will kill a second trading post very, very quickly. But back at home, looks like Somppu... he doesn't have to send, like, well, obviously, but the villagers train for free, so it's very easy to get them. So just going to send 700 wood. Doesn't need to send resources or anything like that to keep production going from both barracks and town centers. Something like 700 food. No, he's just going to be able to train some Janissaries. They are now going to come out and try and defend the trading post, but Aze's age time was so fast that he's going to be able to get these down before the first batch of Jans is really able to do anything about it.
No, and he doesn't really want to take the engagement just 5. We see there's the second batch following along, getting that mass of 10 Jans, and maybe he can deny this forward war hut if he sees it.
Yeah, maybe. That is going up there. He does find it, so that's pretty good. I think Aze does get there just in time. 70 HP left. But Somppu's going to have to be really careful with those Jans that they don't stray too far, and he does. And Aze comes back and... is able to get that down in the end.
But I think he did get the shipment, though. I mean, the pass.
Okay, so that's okay for him. But does deny the forward war hut.
Which is, I think, definitely a positive.
Yeah, I think he'll be pleased with that. But lost his trading post. Didn't manage to get both. And now A's going to build the trading post on the bottom there himself. Looks like Somppu is going to build the other trading route. He needs the XP for the strat he's going for. 700 wood. Followed by 600 wood, which he's going to use to replace the teepees. And that is what's happening. Lots of Jans out. Okay. So far, it doesn't look like he's trying to get up to the next stage super fast or anything like that. Just being aggressive with Janissaries. But Aze...
Deal what damage he can where he can.
Yeah, but Aze now, he sent 6 Tambo, which is a shipment that's going to be enough to force away these Janissaries. They're basically skirmishers with their ×2. Much less range, though.
But on the right-hand side, he's got a couple more war clubs taking down this new trading post that only just gone up. There's a couple of Abbas here trying to clear this up. But maybe Somppu is just going to keep losing his trading posts. Just unlucky like this.
2 Abbas guns, though. And they've taken out quite a few. I think it looks like 2 Abbas is enough to one-bang a war club. And he's going to save that trading post after all. So that's good for him, Robo.
Just in time.
Okay, 700 gold now coming in for Somppu. And that's going to be used to generate or to train quite a lot of Abbas guns. The other option might be to go up to the next stage. But he's already invested in a foundry. He's got quite a good massive units out. I think he's going to stay age 2 and just keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I think that's probably the likely situation. He's not really banking a ton of resources at the moment. Aze, on the other hand, is starting to queue up quite a lot of food. So possibility that he might ship 700 coin and then go up?
Yeah, that's definitely an option. In queue, he's got Axe Riders there, which are really food heavy, right? 160 food, 40 gold. Ooh. So he could just be macroed for production. Okay. And his C-Tambos are also 65 food each. It will, I mean, his next shipment will be a really big tell as to what his plan actually is. But now... switching into Cav, got a good number of Axe Riders out, a couple of Bow Riders, and obviously the 6 Cetans we saw earlier. And it looks like the Sioux Eco is only slightly ahead of the Ottoman one.
Slightly, you say. It's still 6 or so villages. But, oh, Stagecoach on the right-hand side.
Stagecoach
for Somppu.
Okay, so that's going to help out. And 6 is quite a lot when you think about how the Otto village is not quite a lot when the Otto villagers train for free. So it's not like they're spending 100 food every now and again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's something else to think about.
Is slightly better there. Like I'm feeling Team Ottoman here, but coming forward with the War Club's going to drop a couple of TPs for the bonus stats before being executed.
Is it worth for him to sit
Wait,
here
did
and
he just send Morning
TPs?
Star? He did. Oh my God! He just sent Evening Star and has changed all his Axe Riders into Rifle Riders. So that's a thing. These have ×3 versus infantry and cavalry. They're like dragoons and skirmishers combined.
Wow. Okay, that seems pretty.
But they're also countered by all the same things that dragoons and skirmishers would be counted by.
Which is
basically
other dragoons and other skirmishers.
It's more or less everything. Yeah, between them, dragoons and skirms are counted by pretty much everything.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's a really high value card. Rifle Riders are 100 gold.
Are they normally available in the Colonial Age?
No. So only Bow Riders and Axe Riders.
So he's essentially got Fortress Age units.
Yeah, he's got dudes with rifles.
But they haven't got the upgrade though, so they're not veteran.
No, but they, I think they shadow tech when you get up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now I'm feeling Team A's. I was saying I'm feeling Team Otto right now, but a big, massive Rifle Riders, which are basically good against everything and very, very mobile.
But Somppu's about to age up. There, he's just clicked the button there.
Okay, he's going up. Let's take a look.
And he still has, a significant military sitting in his base defending his hunts. The only thing is he's sort of starting to run low on coin. His mine's only got 750 coin left.
All these things you point out, Robo, just somehow become relevant.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it's overly...
Well, it's only 2,000 coin, and then he has to spread all this way out to the right-hand side where his trading posts are.
He's got one there, yeah.
That's really his only one, because the left-hand side is where Ace's army is.
What is Ace doing? He's grabbing the trading post. He too has not got Stagecoach, but I suspect he will with the second one here. Okay, so Ace... I wondered what he was doing. It didn't look like he was sort of pushing. He was saving to age, going up with the Wise Woman, which is going to give him, I think, Bisons and an upgrade to Bison Gathering. Okay. So something like 15 Bison plus Fortress Age 1 might be 30%.
Ooh, that's pretty nice.
To Gathering.
But we're possibly going to see an engagement here. They're both sort of posturing their armies around the middle of the map nearby each other.
Yeah, they're both out on the map. I guess Somppu's just got up. His upgrades are going to come in very soon. He's feeling confident.
Yep. He's going for Veteran Jans and Veteran Abbas at the moment. Plus, he already has light artillery hit points to upgrade
his Abbas guns. Yeah.
So I think Ace is probably just going to keep running around, just stay in the way, make him accountable without taking engagement until he himself hits Fortress Age.
And here comes your gold mine that you keep bringing up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I told you, man. It's vulnerable out here.
Yeah.
If Ace notices, it's vulnerable.
Yeah, you notices. But he's coming forward with his, vet Jans. But I think all those vills, he's noticed, they're going to have to retreat there. But meanwhile, a lot of Rifle Riders going down here.
Ooh, and he could lose some villages of his own on this exposed copper mine. So they're both sort of trading villages at the moment, but it seems Ace is getting even further ahead in eco.
Yeah. Ace has got a lot of coin stacked, which makes me wonder what's in his deck. I think he's going to get ready to send something like Lakota support as soon as he hits up. He's got basically all the gold he needs, and it costs 1,000. Delivers 7 Axe Riders and 9 Bison of all things.
So, as well as the Bison that he's just gotten for research for aging up, he's going to get some more pretty soon, you're saying?
Maybe. It depends if he sends it. What's he got in queue?
Somppu just going to siege this TC because there's no villages here?
Third TC coming down.
Oh, boy.
I think because there's no villages in it, he's going to ignore it because he wants to go to where the villages are and build them up.
That makes sense.
Now coming forward, and Jan Abbas have quite a lot of siege here. There's a lot of vills. They are going to get into that war hut.
But they are elite Rifle Riders now. Is this really a fight you want to take?
I wouldn't say so. I feel like Rifle Riders just don't have enough hit points. I think the Jans and Abbas will be probably fine.
Yeah, even with the war hut and possibly the TC firing as well, it seems Somppu just has such a huge military lead at the moment.
But there's 3 dog soldiers mixed in there as well, which is really, really strong for Ace. Cheers, Dairuga. Another Riot
giving
Coke.
a sub to Dairuga.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think with the dog soldiers, actually, he's going to be able to No, okay, I'm wrong.
No, I don't think so. Like, even if he kills everything and only has the two or three dog soldiers left at the end, is that really a formidable army?
And A's has lost 18 villages.
Oh, yeah, he's going to start losing even more now. All of his villages are soon going to be idle.
It seems like it's not 13 rifle riders. He's killed 20 Jans and 12 Abbas. It seems reasonable, but I think Otto came out ahead in terms of trading there.
Well, you're right. They're now equal in villager counts now, which I feel favors Ottomans.
Especially,
said, they get the 3 villages.
Plus a third TC.
And the third TC is well constantly producing vills.
Yeah, but the rifle rider shipment does handle that. 10 rifle riders there. And they both have a stagecoach, that's worth remembering.
That's true. But that's all equal then in terms of eco for either player.
Yeah.
And we're using an outpost in the middle of the map from Somppu to secure these herds for himself.
Just to garrison inside, should he need to, yeah. Just being really, really safe.
That's sneaky.
It's like wearing a Johnny, you know, you just gotta be absolutely certain.
Gotta be prepared.
Yeah, that's right.
The forward TC from Somppu, his third TC on the right-hand side, calling Minutemen to try to kill a couple of villagers. And then getting cleaned up by the rifle riders as they run past. But then back on the left side, as you're looking at all this army coming in, sieging down this TC, while all of Age's army is off on the right-hand side doing nothing at the moment.
Rip screen.
Rip screen.
And Twitch chat. Yeah, he's going to take down the TC. Yep. Okay, it's back. But now coming in with the rifle riders.
Oh, but the villagers are having to be ungarrisoned.
I think this might be Sompu's first victory.
Getting a couple of vills, and now he's just going to start to clean up this army bit by bit. And just going to keep getting
but
ahead,
he's got quite a few military units there as well in terms of the Wakina rifle, which are really, really strong against the Jans.
Yeah, but there's more army coming in here from Somppu.
And I like his positioning to put the Wakina in front of the rifle riders so that the Jans auto-fire onto the Wakina, which have a ranged resist, and the rifle riders kind of don't, and their damage output's much higher. But A's knows it. Gonna be GG there.
Recognizing that he is quite far behind.
And Somppu gonna pick up his first victory there. So Ottoman seems alright based on that game. Our sample size of 1.
Sample size of 1. Yeah, well, that's the best sample size, right? There's nothing to possibly contradict us.
Sure.
If we ever see Ottomans versus Sioux again in the 2TC patch, we're going to give it to the Ottomans. We think they're favored now forever.
Yep. Okay. We figured it out. Should have waited a bit longer. GG out. I don't know what... Let's take a look. I'm not sure what he was waiting for. I guess a timing.
Maybe big button?
Oh, that's true, yeah. Yeah, where did he get those dog soldiers from?
I think he just shipped the 3.
Oh, yeah, you did.
3.
You've got it open on your screen. Okay.
Yep.
Let's take a look. Game number 4.
Which map are we going into now?
I can't remember. I made the map pool like a while ago. Let's bring up the Civ selection screen. I couldn't read a word of that. It was shaking the whole time. Okay. Can we have the Civ selection screen, though? That would be good.
Yep. We need to see which map we're playing next. I think Parallel Rivers,
Okay.
That sounds right?
Parallel Rivers, yep. Paralleli, I've written.
Paralleli. Woohoo!
So this, what you're seeing here is, basically I went into a recorded game. Okay. And watched Nushel Bear moving his Explorer around the map. So what you're seeing is lagging, apparently. But, oh no, it's not lagging. He's just stopped. He's just standing there. He's gathering... basically, I wanted to follow the Explorer around and just see his travels around Parallel Rivers. And it looked really good. But then when I tried to show it, it kind of like every time they picked up a treasure, it would say like a little bit of text would poke in, like not the whole thing. It would just be like blah 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 has picked up 40 coin. It would say like just the end bit 40 coin, and it was kind of like this is ruining my immersion. So I had to render it out in this really like stretched,
zoomed in view here.
Yeah, it's 1080p, but it's not. It's like the actual resolution is going to be much less than that. But I think it's kind of fun just to follow him around. I thought that was like quite a good idea.
It's pretty cool. You get to see a little bit of the details in the map without getting that overview, which you can see in the top corner, though. So it sort of balances out, I think.
Somppukunkku going to be going... what I should have done was taken the... We should use the minimap from the game that they're in, right? So you know where the Explorer is on the map. That's what we should have done.
But Somppu picking Russia here, it seems.
Yeah, Somppu picking Russia, and he has to pick first. Aizamk now gets to pick afterwards. On Parallel Rivers. So Parallel Rivers is actually a really big map. Like really, really big. But you don't really use much of that sort of bigness, so to speak, because you see the players as positioned like at the bottom of the minimap, and you can see there on the top right that like because they're positioned at the bottom, like they kind of only fight in the space between their TCs, right? So like you can't see my cursor. Anyway, and all that stuff on the top is kind of like ignored. We don't see it too often. I don't think I've ever casted a competitive game on Parallel Rivers, so I'm excited to see how it works. But
because it's just never played, or
I don't. Well, just because I've not seen it in a map pool, just by pure coincidence. Not that it's not like it's Ceylon, which isn't a competitive map. This one is.
You're saying not a competitive map, but we saw a really cool first game.
We did, and I hope we see a final game as well on Ceylon. We'll have to bring Ceylon back. That was interesting. But on the top of the map, there's lots of livestock, right? Okay. So we'll see whether they go up there with their scouts, and it will be Aizamk playing as the Spanish here. So let's get into this. I'm looking forward to seeing how it works because this map is so big and they spawn on the bottom. I'm wondering if they'll like basically place their TCs like upwards and have this sort of lateral expansion.
Or maybe they sort of race into the middle to see who can get the first TC in the middle.
Knowing A's, though, that's probably what will happen. But he is playing the Spanish, so if anything, I think we'll see his TC at home, just to bolster his ability to pop Minutemen and stuff and defend and what have you.
Or maybe just slightly to the north to secure one of the hunts or something nearby.
Yeah, I'm just assuming he'll do something normal, like, something like a fast fortress. But it's Aizamk. He might just be aggressive and use his TC to do whatever the hell he wants. We'll see. We'll see how he decides to play this. But it will be Aizamk spawning on the right-hand side of the map in the color blue. We are on Parallel Rivers. This isn't as big as I thought it was. Okay, so I must have... Okay, so that recorded game yesterday that you were watching just a moment ago, the overlay, so to speak, that map was absolutely enormous. And I think it must have spawned wrong or something, because this is much smaller than that. Anyway, okay, so it's not as big as I thought. That's fine, though.
Both players sort of moving towards the north side of their base.
Yeah, Somppukunkku in the left-hand side of the map in the color red, playing as the Russians. I wonder if he'll leave that coin on the floor. You're right, Robo. He is going up. He's going upwards. So this is kind of what we were hoping for. This is what we
wanted, yeah. They're securing a hunt, trying to find a coin mine as well nearby. And the same thing for A's. He's not as far north, but he has still come up above his TC just to secure some more space.
Yeah, and like basically just there's two hunts nearby. He can herd them towards the second TC. Exactly. And this is also, like, his is slightly further forward. So he could use that as a jumping off point for being aggressive. But yes, it also does perform the function of securing resources. Whereas Somppu's is not aggressive. It's just resource focused, right?
Purely eco plan.
And it might be even like stronger because he's basically covers even more ground and hunts and things like that.
He gives him Somppu. He's collected a couple of these goats, but he's already sending them back to his original TC. He's not even like saving them at the north one.
Here.
Yeah, running all the way down.
Yeah. Yeah, you could wait here, right? It'd be safer to wait at this TC with them, and then you don't have to
intercepted in the middle, or
you don't have to risk it. But it looks like he's bringing them home because he wants to eat them. So you can see these have been deleted, and he's going to gather from them ASAP. They gather at 2 food per second, so it'd be much more quick And that means he's looking to get up to the next stage faster. No, okay, this is what he's doing, right? As Russia, it's really hard to queue vills.
Right, because you need to have so much food in the bank
Yeah.
before you queue up the batch.
Yeah, you need 270 food. So he needs to eat the goats just to get that second batch in production ASAP, and that must be his game plan there. First batch of 3 vills does come out from this TC up here. Okay, so that explains why he eats obviously keeping the goats would be strong economically for later, but perhaps getting those villages in queue sooner is sort of just better overall, or at least Somppu seems to think that it would be.
Okay. By the way, why are these sheep called Marco Polo sheep?
I don't...
That one's a sorrow, but like the ones that they're eating? Oh no, on the left-hand side, sorry, Somppu's. His are called Marco Polo sheep. Under his TC.
You're shitting me here.
I'm not shitting you.
Oh, these guys.
They're Marco Polo sheep.
Maybe Marco Polo found them.
That seems a bit weird.
They've got really... Like, if you look at the... his face looks really...
really, like, just chill.
That
like,
seems like it should be...
"Hey."
It looks like a troll face, you know?
Yeah, it's like, hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Sorry, that was just my little anecdote.
Eating the Marco Polo sheep, clearly.
Yep.
These ones are goats, though. Wait, so he deleted them. Now that they're dead, they're...
No. The Marco Polo sheep were one of his herds, I think. And then the goats...
Oh, yeah, they are. I thought...
Or maybe, yeah, because the goats are still there.
It's because they're called sheep. It confused me, right? Okay. Looks like, though, both players have used their TC a bit more than going up with more villagers than usual. Sompu's on 22 villagers here. So normally you see Russia going with 14 or 17. Looks like he's just going to make villagers non-stop from both until... he's got 9 vills in queue right now. So that's 3 batches of vills. He's clearly intending to just stay age 1, train as many vills as he can.
Get that huge eco booming. But exactly. We see he's already, 60 or so % up to colonial.
Yeah, and he's going up with the Philosopher Prince again, the cheaper politician.
Yep. Possibly going to see a fast fortress from him?
Well, that's what you'd expect to see from Spain.
Right, that's what Spain normally does.
But I have no idea what A's will do. Like, that is a whole different ball game. Judging from his deck, ATP in on a non-trading post map. I don't think he'll be getting the Zen Temples, to be honest, but it is in his deck. I don't think that's relevant, though. He just picked this deck, and it probably won't matter that card's not very useful. He could fast fortress with this. There's definitely the potential to do that, but he's also got... He could play it out in age 2. He's kept both options open. It's not like he's closed anything off. Something to point out is Spice Trade, which I don't think is something you see too often. And...
Advanced Arsenal.
Advanced Arsenal. That seems reasonable for Spain, because they don't have any other kind of upgrades to put in their deck other than cavalry. But he's not put that in. He's not got Cav Combat in there, which is unusual, actually. And he's not got the Colonial Cavalry upgrades. He's got Advanced Arsenal, which will improve his Skirms and Musketeers if he gets that later on and gets the techs that are available. So for Spain, I don't think that's, unusual or super unusual anyway.
Okay, fair enough. So far, nothing much really happening anywhere on the map.
I guess the game's just slowed down so much, right?
Yeah, no one's really going for any sort of insane aggression at the moment.
Yeah, maybe A's doesn't want to be too predictable or something. He's going to be fast fortressing, though, like you were saying about. He's got his, by the looks of it, 700 coin as his second shipment there, and he's going to be clicking that button as soon as these crates are gathered up.
Somppu sent Eco Theory as his second shipment.
Oh,
just in Colonial right now. Eco Theory, when you've got, 30-odd villages, starts to become a viable upgrade, right?
Yeah, and it's
normally when you only got 15 vills, you're like, well,
it's not that great.
Not that great, but you got 30, now it starts to pay off.
And your villagers just train more quickly, so it scales more quickly as well. And for Russia, they don't have vill shipments, right? The only thing they can send that's similar is distributivism, which he's already sent. So it's kind of like sending 2 vill shipments back to back, and it's the only other thing he could have sent being in age 1, I suppose. So it made sense to just sort of send it here. And this is reminiscent of his Ceylon build, which sent 2 sort of greedy cards in a row. In fact, 3, actually. He sent 3 vills, and then, schooners and the Virginia Company.
Yeah,
but here, distributivism followed by Eco Theory. He's definitely looking to be economical, I think is the word.
For sure. And he's even dropping down a blockhouse at both of his town centers.
Just to bolster.
Bolster that defense.
And he's got a big eco now, so he probably does need 2 blockhouses to maintain production from... you can have a batch of musks in each or something like that. So I don't even think it's unreasonable in terms of production either. So defense and also offense in a way.
Yep, but we're seeing 8 pikemen has just been shipped in by A's.
A's likes that shipment,
just as he's about to hit Fortress. getting close now, it seems. And he's also got a barracks at home, so possibly pike Falcons?
Yeah, it looks like he's, what's he, 8 pikemen. Ace seems to like this a lot. We saw the war clubs in the previous game, but in this one there's no trading posts to tear down, and I think the pikes would have a hard time really doing any damage, so yeah, you'd have to be expecting cannons behind this. He's going up with, I guess we'll find out in a moment, the Sergeant at Arms, which is going to give him 8 more pikes as well, and he's trained 5 war dogs and 5 musketeers, so this is a big army, a really big army actually, to defend his falconets with, and like I would be damned if he didn't send them. I'd be very, very confused if they sent anything other than falconets. So gonna come in here with a big, massive skirms, not skirms, pikes, and looks like he's just gonna start wailing on this blockhouse.
Why wait for the Felks when you've got this many pikemen that you can take down the blockhouse right now? And
he would have seen it, Somppu age really late as well, so you won't expect too many military units. Just come in here and start, you know, punishing Somppu for that late age up.
And Somppu, like, his defense at the moment is purely, he's only got 10 muskets, which, with these Felks coming across the map now, could be in trouble.
Yeah, they're coming across the map, but Sompu's now up to Fortress Age as well, and he's going to be able to start sending shipments. He doesn't have a shipment just yet. Minutemen being called just as the muskets arrive, but the Falcons are now arriving as well, and those musks, yeah, you can see them sort of trying to kite away.
Oh, taking big shots in the face there.
That was a volley. And it looks like he's going to lose his TC here. It has netted him a bunch of vills. He did get to use...
Some of these vills might die as they try to run away, though.
They might. I think... Okay, they're not being gone for yet. Well, it's netted him some vills. These ones look like they're going to die. He's been able to use the Minutemen, and this is buying him perhaps a little bit more time. Like, he's still got another TC, so this is something Russia couldn't usually do, right? Like, he's now got 17 Strelets out. And if he could find a way to handle the cannons, he'll probably be okay.
Can Russia send their own cannons?
Yeah, Russia have cannons.
So possibly can send 2 of his own Felks, try to get that first volley in, and then just Strelets and Musks to try to take down the massive pikes.
Yeah, that would be one way of doing it. He's also got, let's take a look at units in queue. Oprichniks on the way. That's another way to handle the cannons. So Oprichniks have like massive multipliers against cannons, and it seems like that's what he wants to handle them.
Fair enough, but okay. We're seeing A's coming in again, and he's just shipped 4 Lancers.
It is 5.
It is 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the game. It's based on
4.
It's based on the RE patch,
right,
which is where it is 4. But yeah, it's 5. So he takes down a house here. The cannons are ready to shoot on the infantry, but the Oprichniks, they should be here now. Where are they? They're up in the top of the map here. They find some villages, and 3 Oprichniks have... They're going to be able to kill all those vills there. That's a lot of vills that are about to get killed.
Yeah, but he's going to take quite a bit of damage at his base if he's not careful.
He might lose the blockhouse, you're right, but he's waiting for his cannons.
Oh,
so he's going to lose that, but I think this is what he was waiting for, and now he can sort of get...
Can he get a volley with his cannons before he gets a volley? Oh, 10 HP.
Yeah.
It's alive.
It is. A's going to finish off that cannon with the musks there, and it looks like he won by 1 volley, so to speak, there. But 1 volley is not such a big deal.
And these Lancers are here, and they're possibly going to clean everything up.
Lancers will absolutely shred.
They're going to destroy the Strelets.
Imagine the Strelets are a really delicious cheese, and the Lancers are a grater, and you're just rubbing the cheese into the cheese. That's what's happening here. We're shredding them into juicy... I don't know why that was on my mind.
That was such a strange analogy.
Those watching the stream before we started would have seen me eating a burrito or whatever it is, a wrap. That had cheese in it. That was delicious, man. Yeah, that's where the cheese came from.
What's happened to the Oprichniks? Did they all die to something?
Let's go to military units, and they're dead, yes. I guess he handled them.
With something. Maybe the Lancers headed north, cleaned them up first before they came south.
Either way, they're gone, right?
Oh, but Somppu losing some villages in the north, trying to get up this blockhouse here.
Yeah.
And his explorer on the left-hand side base could possibly find all these other villages on this coin mine. Oh, he's just missed them.
You need to flare.
I need flare,
Oh,
sorry.
right, here he is. Yeah,
Yep.
I found him. Oh, these, right, okay.
Yep, Ace was just nearby and he's just taken the wrong turn.
That's one feature we have in AoE3 that AoE2 doesn't have, flaring.
Yeah, I'm not used to flaring as a spectator.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess for you. It's helpful.
Oh, it's definitely helpful. Just so not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm used to having to describe what's on the left, north of the left, a little bit more north. Yeah.
Yeah, up, down, down. Yeah, Twitch chat's in the right place now. Yeah, that
yeah,
kind
exactly.
of thing. Speaking of Twitch chat, there is... Oh, you've got it. That's fine. Okay, so Ace has... Oh, there it is. Cheers. Has made Lancers, and in response to that, Sompu's gone with the Cavalry Archers, which are really good against them, but a couple of Rods is really all you need to handle that. The 8 Rodelero shipment, they're just fast enough if they're snared to keep up, and Rods are really good against Cav, as we know.
And there's also a couple of Dragoons in the back there for A's.
More Oprichnix raids down on the south here.
Ooh, picking up a couple of villages, but...
He's killed a lot of Vils. Minutemen being called there, and the Lancers look like they should be able to catch that and stop them escaping. We'll check in with them in a bit. Cav Archers going down there, more Cav Archers coming out. It looks like that this game... It's interesting, right? Because Sompu's clearly ahead on Eco, 47 Eco, but he paid to get up to the Fortress Age. He lost his TC, and he had that, you know, that defense against the 2 cannons where he lost his, you know, blockhouse and stuff like that.
He's lost the 2 blockhouses. He's lost villages all over the place. He lost that huge, massive Strelets that he had.
But he's not lost as many Vils. Oh, but it's kind of similar. 12, though, to A's. And A's is much further ahead on terms of military, so I'm feeling pretty good for A's at the moment.
Oh, yeah. And these skirmishes as well, helping to pick off these Cav Archers, it seems.
Skirm Rod, yeah.
Skirm Rod, Goon.
But a batch of 6 Cossacks does come out, and there's only 3 Rods there and 2 Goons, so those Skirms probably won't last long, and A's agrees he's going to try and get away there. He does have 5 Huss that, as a shipment that have just arrived. They've been rallied to that TC that he's building. Looks like he has escaped the skirmishes and will be okay.
I like that, though. This is sort of like the BM TC. I killed your TC, and now I'm taking that spot. It's mine now.
It's a good spot, man.
Oh, yeah, it is, for sure. Secures that area, gets that coin mine. There's the hunts to the north as well that he could possibly push in.
Yeah, and there's the BM. That's the most important part.
The BM, yeah, for sure. But now he has found Sompu's TC on the left-hand side.
Yeah. And those villagers, though, they are quick to move.
Yep, hiding in the corner there. Well, corner on the round map is a bit hard. But, you know, on the edge of the map, I can say.
On the edge, yeah.
But the Proshniks, they're coming in again. And there's a couple of Minutemen here to defend.
Interjection was just waiting to use that analogy. Yeah, the cheese grater analogy.
And then the Proshniks getting cleaned up by the Lancers and the Minutemen. And even some Rods coming in as well.
Yeah, he's trying to raid, though, but does lose those Oprichnix. Trying to mass up Cav Archers and Cossacks here. That seems like the best bet at the moment.
Yeah, and now everyone's sort of stalled and they're sitting back, and they're even dropping a 3rd TC now.
Oh, yeah,
for Sompu.
You can build 4 in total in this game.
Right, exactly. So they've decided, okay, we've done our early aggression. We've defended the early aggression. Now we're just going to sort of chillax a little bit, try to mass up some army, get some more eco going. But the Hussar raid, possibly going to get a couple of Vils here.
Couple. There are Cav Archers at home, though. He's going to clean that up.
Oh, but a big fight to the north as well, though, as these villagers, where are they going? Running right through the middle of Ace's army, but the Cav Archers and the Cossacks are here.
Trying to get away. I'm feeling Team Sompu in this fight here. He's just got a lot more stuff. But Minutemen can help even the odds there. And, yeah, he's going to get back.
The problem is, like, if he runs away with his army, then all these villagers are vulnerable.
Yeah, I think he's just going to chuck the Vils in there to handle the Rods.
Or just get in the way, tank a little bit.
Yeah. Look at them.
Just roaming around.
He just needs to kill the Rods off quickly, because they're the things doing a ton of damage to his Cav Archers, right? Once they go down, he's probably fine. If he's got enough.
You say that, but he's lost a ton of military here.
He's lost too many Cav Archers, right?
And he's almost about to fall behind in the villager count. And the first time in a long time.
And 12 pikes coming in now. Ace seems, yeah, Ace has just got such much, like just winning all these fights really cost effectively. And is basically taking a lead for sure.
And really, Sompu doesn't really have anything that can counter these pikes and rods.
He just needs more units, right? Yeah. But he's sort of lost them all.
He's got a couple of Strelets Bash popping out right there, but the Lancers just instantly jumping on top of them.
Yeah.
And more rods coming in from the right-hand side as well, raiding the villages on the berries. And this is just military running everywhere around. Oh boy, Manchu's popping out.
Okay. Will it be enough, though? They are strong. But they're a bit like cav archers in the sense that they're going to be weak to the rods.
But not as weak.
Yeah, they're definitely better. Okay, so he's got his military back up again. But he's going to lose a few villages on top to the skirmishes.
Oh, some more up there as well.
But I think he's stabilized.
But like, if we take a look at units lost, he's lost a lot of villages now. 20 vill losses to only 12.
But he has got 3 TCs. And
well, so does A's, right?
Okay, sure, but Russian vills train faster. Like, he is behind in eco, but if he can win a good fight, that won't matter so much. Let's see what he can get done with the cav archers.
All the skirms managed to get cleaned up in the north by some Minutemen. Like, the big thing for me at the moment is that A's sort of, I feel he has more map control.
Yeah.
Thanks to this forward TC, it sort of like split Sompu's base into 2. Which makes it a little bit hard for him to defend everything, whereas A's really, he just needs to focus between the 2 middle TCs.
Yeah. Something also worth pointing out is that Sompu's now got cavalry combat in, and Ace doesn't have any sort of upgrades to his cav. I mean, he has got hand infantry combat, which is making the pikemen and the rods quite strong. I suppose that's the direction he's going with. But I'm worried about if he gets, like, if this game does go super late, I think Russia will just have better units.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised, though. The Manchu really saved him, right? Without those, Somppu would really be rolling over.
He would have just been destroyed then. He had nothing there to defend. Like, he ships, well, not ships, he creates 10 Strelets, and they would have just got instantly cleaned up by the Hussars and the Lancers, but the Manchu were there to save them. Keep them viable, I should say.
Trying to sneak a blockhouse up.
Oh. Feels bad, man.
Blocked.
Blocked.
Blockhouse.
Blocked house, yeah.
House blocked.
And really, no one's doing much. Oh, we've got a foundry, though, coming up for A's. Maybe he's going to start adding in some more Felks? He's got a little bit of gold in the bank. He could maybe afford 2 Felks.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense, because Spies coming in as well. In queue at a church somewhere for Russia. I guess to deal with the Manchu. A's likes to do that kind of thing. And to be fair, yeah, Spies, they times 40 versus... Well, times 20 versus mercenaries are fair enough. And I think you're right. That's the only thing that makes sense to train at an artillery foundry. They don't have anything else there to train, really, that would make sense.
But it looks like A's might lose his forward TC here. Getting siege down. There's even 2 Felks from Somppu here as well. He has a foundry somewhere.
Yeah, he must do.
And all these villagers popping out of the TC, just instantly getting gunned down.
Yeah, it's here.
Ah, yep, there it is. And even, oh, no, look at these villagers on the right-hand side for Somppu. What are they doing?
Dying.
They're so far away from home.
Yeah, he's just trying to gather gold, but this doesn't seem like a sensible mine, does it?
Not at all. So yes, he kills this TC in the middle of the map, but on the right-hand side, he's going to lose, 5, 10 villagers here.
And there's a perfectly good mine up here.
Yeah, there's mines all over his side of the map.
I guess this one was just the closest to wherever the villages were before.
They were mining over here, but even so, like, going over to that side of the river just seems foolhardy in extreme.
And it looked like Russia had pulled it back and had gotten maybe back in the game.
Exactly. After the TC kill, I would have said, okay, I think Somppu might be in the lead now, but that just throws everything in the bin.
He's still got a pretty good army and 2 falconets. He's got culverins in queue, though, A's. And they are now here.
2 culves, there we are. Do you think those spies were worth it, though? He killed 3 of the spies, and I think he only got 1 Manchu.
I don't think they were worth it.
But the culves, they're about to unpack. They're going to maybe try to get a volley off. 1 shot. Get the 2nd shot. Ooh.
He dodged it!
He dodged
like
it.
the Matrix. He gets away with both falconets still in tech.
Just.
But the culls now are going to deny being able to pressure on the front here. And as we saw, he's just killed a bunch of villagers. And I think he's going to know now. I mean, if we take a look at units lost, 37 villages, which
is crazy.
It is a lot of villages, right? So Ace is ahead in eco. He probably knows it, and his game plan can now shift to just like sitting here and waiting for Somppu to come to him, right? The ball is in Sompu's court, so to speak. It's safer to stay at your own unit, and I feel like that's probably what Ace will do, though having said that, he's moving up north, and remember Ace, an Ace is an Ace does. There are units up here. Yeah. This is probably where he's going.
That TC... Oh, sorry, that's the blockhouse. The pikes are nearby. The rest of his army is not really following. They're just sort of massing in the middle of the map.
8 vills are... It's petard time. Yeah, that sounds like an Ace thing to do. Nothing to petard just yet.
But this blockhouse is just getting instantly killed there by that massive pikeman.
Yeah, vet pikes with hand infantry combat have got 43 siege.
Yeah, that's crazy amounts of damage.
And 14 hand attack on these rods as well.
Yeah, I'm going to kill a couple of these villages. And Somppu,
jeez, the timings.
A little salty there. And now the armies are going to meet in the middle, it seems. The Culves are a little vulnerable, though. There's nothing really nearby, but unfortunately, Somppu doesn't have any melee cav anywhere to take him down.
3 Falcons. Ace's units are much stronger, but it looks like Sompu's got a ton of stuff, and 3 Falcons is going to be quite good against the skirms. Let's see if he can get those culverins into position. They're coming forward, but there are cav archers. Yeah, both cannons just looking to nope out of there.
At the same time, there's some villagers getting raided and dying in the north.
Thankfully, pikes are not very good against killing villages, but yes.
They are going to kill them bit by bit.
They are going to slowly kill them. The Strelets are now just walking straight up into the skirms here. Russia's feeling pretty good, it looks like, now.
And he's just backed off of the Falcons, keeping them safe, while he cleans up the army with just his massive units here.
And A's doing a quick 360 there before marching off. That's just for BM.
A's
360 no scope.
A's has got the Zen.
Oh, has he? Let's take a look what's inside here. Hand infantry changes all action damages by 10%. Oh, that seems probably why he's gone for this deck then. His rods and pikes can get that upgrade and be really strong. Now getting infantry breastplate in from the arsenal as well.
But he's maybe going to pick up the Culves with those cav archers there. Even the Strelets just marching up as close as they can.
Yeah, he's going to just try and ram them down.
One of the Culves is sitting there on 7 HP and he's busy attacking the other one.
I think he's focusing all the other units. The Culves really don't do very much damage. They only do damage to the Falcons, so he's not too worried about them. They do go down in the end, though, so that's good for him. And it looks like Russia is on top at this point. Looks like the Sioux are being trained at the Zen Temple. What else is available in the Zen Temple? Shall we have a look? He's got 1,000 XP, so like mercantilism, and unit upgrades change, get 20% cheaper, which might be quite good when you get your guard upgrades and perhaps the Imperial capital upgrades.
If you happen to go that late in the game.
Yeah, that's kind of like when it would start being good, right. I think, because it's quite expensive upgrade.
Fair enough. But here we see Sompu's huge, massive army just continuing to march around the map, try to find something that they can fight. But 2 Falcons from A's. Getting 2 of the Falcons with 1 volley. And the third.
And the third one as well.
Both of his Falcons are still alive. Okay, they're getting gunned down now.
Yeah. But not before he got a really, that was what he needed to stay in the game. If the Falcons of Russia were still alive, he really would be in a bad place right now. 1 Falcon in the back here. But it looks like Ace has switched to crossbow pike just because he can't get any coin, which is not ideal, because Strelets, with all the upgrades, are just so much more cost-effective.
He's still getting some nice volleys off with the Falc, but it finally goes down, and Somppu just has so much more military pop at the moment.
Yeah, and crossbows are just really ineffective. Like, all the upgrades he sent don't affect them, whereas the Strelets are still affected by Strelet combat, etc., etc.
He has got infantry breastplate, so he has got an arsenal somewhere.
Yeah. That affects the pikes and rods, too.
As well, yeah.
He had...
All the military getting cleaned up here.
It looks like Somppu is now building his first mill. So if he's going to be switching to mills and plantations very soon, and Ace has already got a couple up by the looks of it, perhaps Ace can hold here. This is looking all right.
Somppu actually has 2 at the back of his base.
Okay, so he has...
And 2 more up here, yeah.
Right. He's definitely...
He's already got the switch on.
He's well switched. But this is looking okay. He's got some... Dogs are really strong here. 199 hit points. They're affected by infantry breastplate. What the fuck? That's amazing.
Isn't that a ranged infantry upgrade?
They're type hand infantry. Read, it says hand infantry. No, it's just crossbows and pikes are hand infantry.
Okay.
Hand infantry is like is archaic infantry, right?
Gotcha,
There's so many dumb tags. But war dogs are so good at this point. And because they shadow tech, they've got really good stats. They're like basically cavalry, but really cheap ones.
But they only cost 100 food, right?
They're 75 food each.
75 food. Oh, it's even cheaper.
Yeah, they're 200 hit points. They're really
and
good.
Now the military has just completely swung 180, and now Russia is behind.
What a game! What a game, Robo!
What is happening?
Things.
Stuff and things.
Has he got 4 TC? No, he's still got his 3 TCs. And we're slowly climbing up to 99 vills, even though we'd be there already if we hadn't lost 51 red villagers. Jesus Christ. And Russia's still ahead on eco. It just goes to show like how good that Russia bonus is. Mind you, he does have 3 TCs, and A's only has the 2 there.
Yeah. And he's also starting to secure more of the coins in the north of the map. He's got this blockhouse up here, which sort of secures 2 mines, essentially. The one right next to it.
This must be like the 3rd or 4th attempt for a blockhouse on the top of the map. Finally gets it. And all Ace has is this 1,000 gold here. And it, without, you know, coin, he's spending some of the... Wait, let's go to units in queue. I want to know what he's spending it on. Falconets, right. Oh, no, it's gone now. I'd expect to see falconets. And, like, maybe rods or something. Because that's... Rods are low on coin. He has got some falcs. Okay, so we did see some.
And he's even making the discipled Zoe from the Zen Temple just to get some more military out there that doesn't cost any coin.
They're interesting, aren't they? They've got quite high hand attack for... They don't cost coin, that's right. But nor do pikemen. And his pike's a veteran already. Their stats are reasonable, actually, though. I'm wondering why he wants them instead of just ordinary pikes. Maybe his barracks were busy making crossbows. And he wanted to just Zoe a fine. And also they're native units and it's cool and it's Ace. That's probably why.
And they don't cost any pop, which is just
That's true.
useful.
That's true. But that is true, and we're approaching that 200 pop part of the game.
Look at this huge army that we're looking at. This massive veteran Cossacks. There's just the one Felk, it seems, in the back, and so many Strelets just running around.
This is game over, surely. This is the final nail from Somppu coming here. But Ace is ahead on points somehow. Let's switch on over then to military units. We've got to see this. That's a lot of cavalry there. He does have some pikemen nearby, but the main army is away.
Coming in from the north. Maybe going to pincer him in here with the 2 Felks?
Maybe.
He's going to lose everything on the bottom, though.
I'm just worried about, they started the fight too soon here, but he kind of had to because his vills are gathering food, but he has now arrived in the fight. The units on the top are now in here. He's got 2 Falcs. His opponent's only got, well, 1, and it's not in the fight here. His Falc's way off over in the distance. So all this infantry, he can actually handle for the time being. Those Falconets really important here. Yeah, these Hussars, or pardon me, Cossacks now coming around the flank to try and get on top. He does notice it, though, and he's going to try and body block. That slight pause might be just enough there. Going to try and focus them down.
And there's even just one random Falc running in at the north of your screen there from Somppu. Just... coming out of nowhere. Yeah,
it's that one Falc we saw earlier, but it does trade off for a Falc, so that seems reasonable. And down here in the bottom, there's a lot of pikes. Remember, they've got infantry breastplate as well as hand infantry combat. They're quite tanky pikemen, and with war dogs mixed in there, going to take out those Strelets quite nicely. Really well done there. It looked like Somppu had everything he needed to win the fight there with A's away from home, but not the case. Advanced this is interesting. Look at this. Spanish gold coming in at 26 minutes 32. That doesn't seem correct.
Because that's the shipment that gives you a little bit of coin every time you send a shipment.
Yeah, you get 400 gold every time a shipment arrives. But it is also just a 400 gold shipment, flat, right?
By itself.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, it's not ideal to be sending it right now, but maybe he's just sent everything else that could possibly be useful already.
Got a small little raid coming on the right-hand side, just a couple of Strelets forcing these vills to stop chopping trees and
Lancers! Lancers are so...
Oh, no.
I love watching Lancers. They're just so good.
Oh, They're gonna these poor Strelets.
They're going to rip through them. It's a shame that Ace doesn't have any cav upgrades in his deck. He's only got, all the infantry ones, which is cool. And it's kind of worked out, but I love seeing, fully maxed out Lancers with ×4 versus infantry and all that nonsense. Up in the north, though, does find the vills on gold, and that's going to bring... it up to 57, 58. This may well be the most villagers ever lost in a single game. 60 vills. Oh my god.
This is insane.
And Somppu's somehow at 99 villagers still.
Well,
that's recalculated. Why is it so high?
I don't know.
Oh, they're in queue. No, they're not. I have no idea.
Does it account for eco theory?
No, it doesn't.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what it's counting. Either way, He's doing all right for villages.
For these veteran Strelets, though, they're pretty stacked on upgrades at the moment.
Yeah, you got the advanced arsenal along,
coming in.
flintlock, as well as his paper cartridges in. But military is not, but military drummers is, which gives them speed. They are very, very strong Strelets. They're incredibly cost-effective, but Lancers, will they be enough? In theory, they are, so strong, and War Dog's there. So these are the right units.
It looks like he doesn't even care about Ace's army. He's just trying to kill as many villagers on these farms as possible.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you do at this point in the game.
He can only replace them 2 or 3 at a time.
Once you hit 200 pop, you can just trade off your army for Villi kills as long as you can replace the units immediately, right? Yep. It's at this point where it's kind of a different dynamic, and you'd also be doing things like trying to snipe their factories.
Picking off a Falconet, almost knows on 5 HP.
Oh, nice. But there are no factories, obviously, yet.
Not yes.
But yeah, he's killing a lot of stuff, right? And I think just because Sompu's got like the insanely cost-effective Strelets and a fully maxed out 99 Vil Eco, he looks like he's okay here. He's doing this is what he needs to be doing to.
Yeah, he's 20 Vils ahead now. And by the way, I don't think Somppu is actually making his very first plantation of the game now.
A plantation.
Because he's been just getting all these coin mines all over the map.
Yeah.
Whereas we see that A's already has plantations.
And Spanish gold seems it's actually not too bad, I suppose, once, right, because now there's no gold left on the map, it seems reasonable. Imagine if he'd sent it sooner, though. So many Vils going down, now it's 65, and the Strelets now fighting crossbows, which is what they want to be fighting, really. They'll win that cost effectively. Doesn't look like A's has the funds to continue training Lancers.
No. And the Strelets, they're just sort of constantly marching in. Like, you kill 5 or 10 of them, and then another 5 or 10 just pop up again.
Yeah.
Attacking from all angles at the moment.
And the bleeding just isn't stopping. The Sompu Strelets just marching through this hole. And now paper cartridges in as well. These Strelets are strong. They're like almost skirmishers now. Almost.
Oh boy.
3 Falcons do pop out, though. And that's going to be what he needs to handle them. But
oh, look at that.
Yeah,
huge volley.
Sompu is going to go hand combat, though, which will finish these quite quickly. But look at the +6s.
Look, they're just constantly just popping up all over the place.
He is going to but more Strelets.
Oh, from the other side.
He's got the Falcons down.
1 Falcon to go.
That's how you do it. You just chuck men at them. Eventually, the artillery stops.
This is World War I all over again.
Yeah.
Just keep sending them in. And there he goes, calling it. Somppu bringing it back to the 2-0.
What a series! Oh, what a game!
That was crazy.
That was a lot of villages lost. It's a lot of Vil kills. I'm gonna XD, more hormones. I'm a teenager again.
That was crazy. Okay, I want to see the post-game graph.
Okay.
And look at the villager count. And just watch it going up and down. Look at it.
Some pieces like.
Oh man, that was a crazy game.
Yeah, he says Strelets are insane, especially with advanced arsenal.
You can probably spam with 30 Vils and win. Well, I guess 99 Vils is just overkill then.
Yeah, should have deleted some, make more Strelets. That's how that works, right? Yeah, they are very, very cost effective. That's the trouble with like. I'd really like it if Spain's upgrades for their pikes and rods also affect their crossbowmen, because I don't think it would matter most of the time, but it would give them a bit more. Like it seems appropriate and thematic. In this game, it might have mattered, like out of the 1 in 100 games where it would. But whatever. I just like Spain. I'm always suggesting nonsense ideas for Spain. But next up will be
just
High Plains, and this overlay we've seen before. That's fine. We didn't get to see Ceylon. Feels bad, man. We didn't get to see Bonnie Springs. Feels bad, man.
Feels very bad, man.
And I didn't spend that long making them, but I do want to show them. But never mind. The show must go on. And next up, yes, High Plains then. So Sompu will pick first. He cannot play as the Ottomans or the Russians.
And Ottomans are a civ that we occasionally see on High Plains. Also Portuguese.
Yeah, Ottomans I think is quite good on High Plains. Like they're pretty good on most, high trading post maps, and also yes, Portuguese and Spanish because of the the advanced trading post card. It's more effective with more trading posts. So there is that. Maybe Somppu will pick Portuguese. I somehow think, though, comparatively, the Portuguese bonus is weaker than usual because, you know, starting with an extra TC kind of makes getting a TC for free every age.
Oh, and then we can see Ham.
So, yeah, you can see here that he's played as the Spanish there. And below, just to the bottom, we can see that Weatherman Ham is pointing to a spell of Russia being victorious. Up in the top, we see some bison with a flurry of villagers being jumped at here by coyotes. As you can see, that one getting ready to leap onto Ham's hand. Come on, come on. Yeah. On the other side, the score is 2-2. 2-2.
Oh, God, this is hilarious.
With spells of winds and high plains. Thank you all. Back to the studio, Kev.
Oh, God. And now we have to wait 2 minutes to see the chat reaction.
Yeah. We should do weather forecasts, maybe. That green screen's brilliant. So for those wondering, yeah, we can use that to do interviews with the players at the New World Championship LAN and indeed the ECL LAN as well. Or I don't know what it would come in handy for, just messing around with nonsense
Just,
like that.
Yeah, general funny stuff.
Doing weather reports, why not? Okay, so Somppu is going to play Iroquoise here.
Interesting.
It's a civ that clearly he likes, didn't work out so well earlier, and that was against the Ottomans. No, it wasn't. Wait, I feel like we've seen this matchup, but from reverse. Somppu played...
No, it was Ottomans versus Sioux.
Ah, but we will see Ottoman from A's this time, which seems strong. So I was just imagining what's A's going to do here, and then I thought about on Ceylon how he trained dacoits from a catamaran, but nothing that unusual on high plains. Not today, anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the score is 2-2 in this best of 9 series between Aizamk and Somppukunkku. A's has selected Ottoman, Somppu has gone with the Iroquois. And I can't tell you what it is that Somppu has in mind with the Iroquois. But we've seen Ottoman already. Here is the Ottoman in the north of the map in the color blue, playing as indeed
The Ottomans.
as I've already said, yes.
The Ottomans are playing as the Ottomans.
So they seem pretty good. We saw that you don't have to think about your vills at all, which is usually the case as Ottoman, but you get twice as many. And I don't know if that was really the most important thing that actually won him in the last time we saw the Ottomans playing, but it is a bonus that they have. Looks like
it's just all around useful, I feel. Like, it doesn't really matter what situation. It's just your villagers keep popping out.
And maybe that's enough. A's going to place this TC at home here, which again points to, like I said previously, although we didn't see that happen, some kind of fast industrial, some kind of revolt play. And the 8 Hussars are again in the deck, which makes that perhaps a bit more likely as well.
Mm-hmm.
Somppu on the bottom of the map here, playing as the Iroquois. He has still got his Discovery Travois. He doesn't need to turn it into a house. That Travois could be really anything he wants.
So it could be a free war hut?
No, Discovery Travois can't become a war hut. It can only become the Discovery Age buildings, right?
Okay.
So I'm wondering if he just turns it into...
Discovery Age, though?
Not with this guy. You can build them. You can place them with a villager, but it's just...
Okay.
It was... when the game launched, you could, and it was rebalanced and all this. We won't go into it.
Right, makes sense.
But like what we often see is this could be placed into, let's say, a mill, which gives you a bunch of XP. But if he was going to do that, and also there's an upgrade in the mill that is basically steel traps. So, but he's not placed it. He's not got his mill, and it's not going to matter because you need that XP for your first shipment. Otherwise, why bother? So there's that. He's going to build the trading post here. Anyway, I wonder what he does with this Discovery Travois. The point is he doesn't need to make it into a house because the TC gives you 10 population, and that's basically a house, right?
Right. And we see he's gone for a very far away TC, securing this extra hunt, and really that's about all it does for the time being. It possibly gives him like a jumping off point if he wants to try to attack the trading posts.
Yeah.
From A's in the north of the map.
But he didn't know A's would build them, right? So it wasn't done deliberately for that, but it is true. Perhaps 7 war clubs like A's likes to send. That kind of thing. Not that these guys have war clubs. In fact...
Not that A's is even playing as the Iroquois.
Yeah. Tomahawks then, fine.
It'll work out.
But it is there. And Somppu, I think a theme of this game has just been trying to use that second TC to capture more map and just sort of...
And he's playing much more heavy eco. Whereas A's, we see he's already up to Colonial Age.
Yeah, going up with the Philosopher Prince again.
So he's playing far more standard, I feel like, to begin with. Right, like you're doing your sort of like fairly normal timings in terms of aging up and military aggression.
Yeah.
Whereas Somppu is deliberately trying to be more boomy, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, as the Ottoman, you don't really have a choice. You just age up at that time anyway because your vills are training for free. It's not like you have a choice to queue vills or not to queue vills. But yes, generally that is what we have been seeing. A's has not been training villagers, has been going up more quickly, and then starting to train villagers once he gets to the next age. Somppu, yeah, he's staying age 1 a lot more. Somppu, though, sent 200 food, 100 wood, and 100 gold, which is actually quite good, right? So 200 food is going to get him up to the next stage a bit quicker. And he doesn't need to send 3 villagers, perhaps, because he's training them? I guess. That's maybe the thought process.
Well, he's got the 3 vills in deck, so...
But he's not sent them.
I feel like that's a strange one. Like, I think 3 vills would probably make more sense
I mean,
in most cases, right?
Yeah, but you do have an age fast with the messenger, so maybe he just wants to get that in queue sooner with the 200 food. I don't know. Overall, it's worth 400 resources, right? In fact, more than that. Well, it's worth 400 resources, but 100 wood and 100 gold, those kind of resources like are quite high value in terms of villager seconds. So maybe he just thinks it's better than 3 villagers because it's like worth overall more resources, and you can just turn that food into vills anyway because you've got a second TC. Something like that. I don't know. That's really interesting. Like, there's a lot of peculiar things going on that it's hard to know why they've decided to go for it. But it's interesting because you don't usually start with TCs and we get to explore this kind of nonsense. But A's is now up to the next age.
Yep, that's his forward barracks coming up. Well, it's not really that far forward. Timings are...
Hard. Unreal. There's just no, like, I think a player like Somppu is just really experienced with all the possible things that can happen in each matchup and at what time you'd expect those things to happen.
Oh, but Somppu trying to get this trading post has been denied.
Oh my god, we didn't notice it. Oh, that's why he was talking about timings.
Oh, yeah.
Because he almost finished the TP. Okay, so a spy from the mosque, and the mosque is a really good building for the Ottoman anyway, so why not make a spy? God, why didn't we... Oh god, I'm so angry we didn't see that.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. And then now, A's is just going to walk over there, siege it down, and build his own trading post there just to secure, 4 out of 5 of the slots.
Yeah, which is exactly what they want. That's really nice, killing that. Times 40 versus heroes. What a beast. And yeah, the Janissary is just going to kill this TP here. Millet system seems really good when you've got 2 TCs. It improves the rate that villagers train. And yeah, the Explorer and the Spy are going to take down that TP for sure.
Yeah. Do you think he's just going to research Stagecoach really quickly, even though he hasn't built all the TPs yet?
Yeah, I think so. I think it takes a long time for Stagecoach to fully complete, right? So you might as well start it now. And I expect by the time it comes in,
He'll have most of them.
He might have one more, but either way, it's worth it, I think. Just to sort of get started. But the Jans, they've taken out that TP socket. He can now build that and are moving on forwards. Yeah, Stagecoach now just coming in to come into the opponent's base here. He's going to be met by some Aena, but
there's not enough.
There's a lot of Jans there.
Right, he's shipped 5, and then he's also made another 10 or so there. And there's only the 4 Kanya Horsemen and a couple of Aenas here. Not really much military whatsoever for Somppu at the moment. But he's picking off a vill or 2 at home with his Kanyas that are just roaming around. And he's actually he's rebuilding the trading post on the right-hand side. He sent 2 of the Kanyas over there to buff up, revive his Explorer, and deny.
And has managed to pick it up, yeah.
Just slow down A's a little bit more. And Stagecoach has been researched.
The Spy he's still here. He's coming back. What?
Run away!
He'll get it.
Explorer,
He'll get it. He'll easily get it. Look at this.
He's got so much attack.
Rest in pepperonis.
That Spy has got so much value. He's killed the Explorer twice.
Yeah, for what, like 90 XP but a pop? Like, the Spy is quite expensive.
And the trading post is again denied and destroyed.
Yep. And
oh, God.
If you can keep them alive, they're actually really good scouts as well. They got a huge line of sight, and they're obviously stealthable, so a pretty good unit. They're just not worth the cost. 125 gold.
Eco-wise, though, Somppu is starting to get ahead, as you would expect versus the Ottomans with their slow training villages.
Yep.
But
5 villager shipment came in, followed by crates of 300 food, 300 wood, and 200 coin, which is going to help him. Just generally, it's like quite a nice shipment. Just lots
it's nice, like well-rounded shipment. Like,
lots of villager
whatever you
seconds.
need it for, it can help you with everything.
But also, it's not specific. So if you want to like go up to the Fortress Age or something, it's not like 700 gold. But
and we can see that
you're right.
He's about to click up. And actually, to be honest, A's looks like he's going for the same thing. They're both trying to get up to Fortress pretty fast here.
Yeah, except A's is a lot more military, doesn't he? New subscription coming in.
How to talk, please, gifting 10
Oh my
subs
goodness.
to the community. Thank you very much.
How to... I've seen that from How to Talk, Please Help. Has gifted quite a number of subs, so...
Yeah, up to 30 subs now in the channel. Congratulations to Second Last Night, Reaper, Generics, and Wise One, the Gregory 93, Chemist 142400, Flappy 12, Escape, Yosef, and the First Firefly.
You said Flappy 12, and it reminded me of the Flappy Bird game. But yeah, thank you very much for that. You guys are ultimately what is enabling us to do this. And keep bringing in the show matches. Here, though, a big fight.
Not looking good for Somppu, losing all of his military here as he's aging. A's has probably recognized the fact that he's going to age up pretty soon. And he's just come in here, has taken down the war husk, cleaned up the military. And now, Somppu, what are you going to do, buddy?
Somppu has obviously that was not ideal, losing some units.
Nope.
But he's going up with the chief, so we'll receive, I think it's tomahawks upon reaching the next stage. I hope.
I hope it's some sort of military.
The chief. No, I think that's wood. It's 800 wood. We'll see.
Oh, and even the hussars coming in to try to pick some of these vills. Oh, no.
You know, my mind's really hazy on what we changed these things to on the Smackdown patch. I should probably...
We need to get a cheat sheet for him.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Feels you can't win Otto on 2TC low.
Win against Otto, yeah, it seems.
Feels bad, man. I think Somppu might be considering calling the game pretty soon.
He is up. What was it, though?
There's a Travois in the north, just dropping down the war hut. And the war hut's just going to instantly get destroyed.
Yeah, you get the Travois for GG. You get the Travois for free with every age up.
Oh, do you? Okay.
But I'm not sure what the hell... Alright, GG. Oh, was it? I don't know. I should know these things.
The bets were done 2 minutes early, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Spoilers.
Oh dear. Well, GG. And it looks like A is going to pick the win up there. So Ottoman for tomorrow look like a strong Civ.
They are pretty good, yeah.
I'm kind of sad about that. Well, I'm not. But what I mean is that a lot of the games will be best of ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of Ottoman.
Possibly going to be a lot of Ottoman mirrors, but it depends on also what map you're playing on, right?
True.
Like, I don't think Otto would be...
I mean, they're pretty good on high plains, right? So
yeah, but I don't think that'd necessarily be like the best Civ if you're playing on, say, Ceylon.
Or, yeah, or Arkansas, which is the first map in the map pool. Yep. Shaping up 3-2. So this is still reasonably close. A's is pulling ahead, though.
Oh, he's invited me before he invited you. Ha, PogJab.
You feel good about that, don't you?
I feel very good about that.
Robbo Borrow.
That's me.
Okay, next map will be...
Will be something. If we can take a look at the Civ screen, we can
Manchuria?
find out what's up.
Deccan. Ah, yes, Deccan.
Deccan, then Manchuria.
A's knows what's up. Followed by Mendocino and Ceylon. He says in the chat there. What could
Because
he
he's
be
already
thinking?
won with French and Brits.
Not as much industrial age stuff as I was hoping for. He's thinking, clearly.
Not sure what Civ he would take here. Maybe Indians? Or Japs? Like, we've seen them quite often in regular games.
Yeah, that's true.
How will they go, though, with the extra TCs?
I think Japan would quite enjoy having an extra TC. Well, every Civ, obviously. But that doesn't mean A's will pick them.
That's true. A's does do whatever he likes.
A's isn't going to play Japan standard. If he picks Japan, you know he's going to like be aggressive or something with the Torii gates or whatever he wants to do. Dutch, okay. I mean, in general, you can play a lot of civs on Deccan just because of the extra resources. I guess the real question is, okay, British seems like a pretty strong counter to that.
Yeah, I feel like the thing that A's really has to think about, okay, Somppu still has Brits and French and all the other good options. He needs a civ that he feels is rounded enough to take on whatever the counter pick might be.
Yeah, so,
right.
I mean, usually British is sort of the counter pick to Dutch here, but I don't know if having 2 TCs really changes things. It is interesting, though, because you're going to get to 99 vills. Well, you're going to get to 50 vills more quickly, and that's the build limit for the Dutch.
Oh, really? They can only get 50 vills?
Yeah, but they do have, obviously, you know, 5 banks, plus however many more banks they get from cards to even that out.
That's still not very many villages compared to 99 that everybody else gets.
Yeah, and they're going to get to that really quickly, right, with 2 TCs. But it's interesting. I wonder what will happen then.
Another weather report? I don't think we're going to have a weather report, because we're going to get into this game pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Once Somppu comes back from his bath.
I'll give you a weather I'll give you a weather report right now. It'll be muskets with a side of skirms. This sounds like more like a restaurant order, doesn't it? And it does a...
Yeah, side of skirms, and possibly some longbows as well.
A gust of arrows, followed by muskets to the north. And as we sweep down into the south here, there'll be yaks and agroforts. Well, there won't be any agroforts. Manor houses.
Manor houses. Fair enough. Okay, and Somppu is back. Get ready to get into this game.
Gulmas says, how do we know where to look without a person pointing it out? What we need is Ham on the screen at all times, so whenever we're casting, we can say, look at these hussars!
So
and Ham's like,
instead of having a mouse pointer, there's just Ham pointing at things.
Yep. Hams. I wonder how that would work. Or maybe we could have Ham translating on the screen in sign language, so that we can be the first Age of Empires and Twitch stream to cater to deaf viewers.
Are you ready?
All right then. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Aizamk versus Somppukunkku.
Oh boy, and here's the weather report.
Yeah, he heard me here. I guess we'll try it out for the first part of the game then.
The score here is 3-2 to A's, and we're going into the map High Plains.
Yeah, as you can see. I wanted
I wanted more of Ham.
I wanted more weather reporting. Okay. I wanted to like point out the covered wagons and okay, enough of that. Spawning on the top of the map in the color blue, we do indeed have Aizamk. Here he is playing as the Dutch. He starts with his extra covered wagon. The question is, where will it go?
I feel like going towards like the middle of the map, up on the start of like the hill area, try to secure some of those hunts in the middle, could be really strong. And nope, A's just does the complete opposite and goes to the back of his base.
Behind his base, okay.
Yeah, behind his base. But on the other side, Somppu playing in the red, as the Prince, he is going forwards with his covered wagon. And
this seems much more consistent with what Somppu actually does. I also kind of like it because you can grab like some extra yaks maybe with it. You can just sort of scout a little bit, come across. Okay, but that's where he wants his TC, and ultimately you want to place it ASAP, right? So Somppu going to get onto the plateau. A's going to stay at home, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is in his deck. Dutch do have... No, that's ports. Never mind. I think Dutch is going to play defensively, right? This is if you place them together, that signals something defensive.
Yep. It definitely does.
So Dutch villages cost coin, and you've got 2 TCs, so you're going to be spending more coin than usual. I don't think that will make too much difference. There's plenty of coin on this map, and obviously banks as well. Did that food crate spawn at the... What the... What? Huh? That either was there just as a random Deccan crate, or the TC spawned the food crate. That can't be. I don't think it was there. It must have just been a random Deccan crate.
I think it would have been.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been. Like, you know, the ports on whatever. Okay, so it just looked like it was in the right spot to be a bonus crate.
It just happened to be in the right spot.
Yes.
All right. Aizamk needs a sec then. Okay. But, okay, so Dutch immediately
you
going to be
ready?
building a trading post here, which is not what you'd usually see. Geological survey, going to see all the gold mines on the map.
It's pretty valuable.
Yeah, but I guess the TP, I don't know what it signals really, but it's fine. It's Deccan, right?
You can afford to do everything.
You can afford to do everything. Aizamk going to be getting Philosopher Prince, already going up to the next stage. Already at 1 minute 50.
That's pretty fast.
Did he train? Yeah, he's trained some villages.
Just a couple.
Yeah,
And the nice thing is, like, you just keep creating builds as he goes up, right?
That's true.
From
From one of
the
them
TC.
anyway. Okay, so British going to be going with Virginia Company as the very, very first card there. Going to skip 3 vills entirely by the looks of it.
And 3 vills just coming in for the Dutch as well.
Yeah. And he is going to have a shipment ready when he hits up to the next stage. And that's why Somppu skipped the 3 vills, because if he sent them, he wouldn't have that shipment ready. Mind you, though, he is still, by the looks of it, staying age 1 for quite a long time. 3 vills in queue.
Do you think he's just going to ship 3 vills as well instantly?
I don't think so. Like, if he was going to, he surely would have built a... He should have sent 3 vills first, right? So I don't think he's going to do it at all.
He's just sent a shipment. It's dropped back down to 0, so...
It must be then.
He must be doing it.
That's interesting.
Well, I guess if you do it this way, because you get the XP from building the houses, right? So
Yeah.
it sort of speeds up the next shipment.
That's true.
So if you do vills and then VC instead of VC, then vills,
Okay.
it sort of speeds it up a little bit.
But the vills get you up faster, so that I don't know, whatever. Ultimately, this seems fine.
Well, if you haven't clicked up yet and it's 3 minutes, I don't think you really care if you're 20 seconds slower.
All right. Bank
Anymore.
now going down for Ace. He's up to the next stage. And has got 400 food on the floor from the Philosopher Prince.
Yeah, using that cheap age up. And does that one also give you 2 cows?
No.
No,
He
that's the
found the
villager
cows.
shipment.
It's, yeah, 4 cows and 3 villages.
But not really any aggression coming out from A. He's not building anything at the moment. No 4 barracks or stable or anything like that. There's 2 vills out the front of his base. Maybe they're going to go wall up? Nope. Where are they going? They've been seen now.
I think 700 wood's just arrived, and he is gonna put something down. They have been seen, but Somppu's gonna see whatever it is anyway. If he's diligent, he's should be scouting the map.
Yep. And there's that forward barracks. You're going to start seeing some skirms, I would guess?
I guess so. That is what they train. Certainly not muskets. What is Somppu doing? Just walling up here, keeping the passages closed. Going to try and stay behind walls, build lots of manors with the Virginia Company. And he did send the 3 villages, as you said. He is, too, also going up. Will be going up with the governor for an outpost and 200 gold.
Which I think is probably going to be quite important to help defend this sort of plateau that he's trying to take control of.
Yeah, it seems like the outpost is fitting the theme of his general
He could sort of
game style or game
move
plan.
over a little bit to this side to sort of secure that other hunt. Maybe something like that?
I have a feeling it'll go behind these walls. We'll see where it goes.
Oh, it's going where I'm... Oh, but there's a couple of pikemen there.
Yeah.
It looks like he's heading out that way.
Pikes out on the map. I think they're going to head towards the trading post. That's where A's is sieging.
Yep, makes sense. He wants to get that trading line.
And might as well kill it, because getting through these walls will be a right pain in the bottom. Now starting to add in a stable. And that's his first military building, it would seem.
Not really the most common opening that you would see from the British, but oh, look at that envoy there, just blocking the wall placement.
Oh, here, yeah.
Yeah.
And even moving it.
Just to prevent the walls from
But
going up.
it's standing on the segment rather than the actual wall bit. Okay, so Cav going to be out soon, and that's going to be really good because A's has started with skirmishers here. That's just taken down the Explorer there. Let's switch on over to units in queue. 1 Hussar there. Looks like the outpost is just going to reinforce this TC, and that makes it kind of hard for the skirms to get any work done there. going to leave for the time being. But he will take out the trading post with the pikes. He's needing to get them home soon, because the cav will be out soon.
Well, I don't think he's scouted it, right? He doesn't know that there's cav coming. Like, it would seem like a logical
That's true.
thing.
I suppose Ace doesn't know about the cav, but they are here now, and they're going to...
Pick off these 3 skirms.
Yeah, but the pikes, they may well get there in time. I think he's pulling the skirms towards the pikes.
Oh yeah, look at them running along.
And that's going to be enough.
But we've got 5 longbows as well. Sorry, 6 longbows being shipped in.
Yeah.
Trying to bait the pikemen back into range of the longbows.
Yeah, and he's going to get away there, sacrificing the Explorer and the Envoy. But ultimately, the 3 skirms get away, which is really good. If he'd lost them, like the dynamic of this early game just changes so much, right? Just a couple of units really makes a big difference. It's all about saving them as much as you can. Well done from Ace there. But may lose a villager.
May lose 1 vill, but Ace is about to clear up the fortress.
That he is.
He's got the food, he's got the coin ready to go, and Somppu is bottomed out on all resources.
Yeah,
Just shipping 5 villages.
Ace is going up with the Exile Prince, so the age up fast option. And Somppu, he just appears to be making stuff, right? He's got a Musk and a Huss in queue. He's just training units. He's not looking to go up yet. 2 vills in queue, just looking to boom.
Continuing to wall up the sides of the plateau as well. And just taking down the barracks.
Maybe he was embarrassed about losing 50 vills or something. And this game, he's going to have walls everywhere. We're going to...
Yep. No possible problems coming into his base.
We're going to play this one like AoE2.
And he's even walling up
slam walls.
this side as well. And then I would assume he'll come in here and build a wall across this space as well.
Yeah, it would seem like that would be a good place. But Dutch is now up to the Fortress Age, or will be in moments. And I think that's going to signal to Somppu that he should be doing something. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Lots of hussars, a few longbows. And there's not a lot of stuff here for Ace, but he has sent the advanced church.
Oh boy. And dropping the church and the stable at home.
And he's got Wargelders already in queue. Calling Minutemen, there's the Wargelders.
What are these? I've not seen these before. Oh, are they just...
They're like
type units?
They're beefed up hussars more than anything else. Like, they got roughly the same... Well, they got a lot more attack than a hussar, and maybe twice as many hit points. Yeah, they're about twice as good as a hussar, almost.
Okay.
Mamelukes are a different kind of beast.
Okay,
they're
very different. Okay.
Mamelukes have just a different...
Yeah, I know, they've got a ton of HP.
Very, very silly.
I clicked on... Like, before I clicked on it, I think, oh, they kind of look like a Mameluke. And then I'm like, oh, no, there's only 500 HP.
But they're still very strong, right? And that's going to be enough to force Somppu away. He doesn't want to take a fight just yet.
Now, this sort of puts, I feel, Somppu in a little bit of a quandary. Like, what does he go for? Does he keep going full colonial, or does he try to age up behind?
I think he will age up here.
He's saving up for the age.
He's got the room to age up, right? Like, it's not like he can't do it. I think he'll follow A's up.
Yeah,
it will be a slow age,
walls,
though, right?
Not deleting the pillars. British
don't have a fast age politician, so he may get up very soon. Oh, I think I moved the camera. But he's not going to be up for a while. But there are lots of walls, so maybe that's enough to buy time. Thing is, though, Somppu's ahead on vills and has been ahead on vills sort of all game long. Mind you,
Ace not too surprising.
Is not that far behind. He's starting to catch up with the banks. I wonder if he's approaching his villager build limit now. Let's go to all units, I guess. 41 villagers for Dutch. So very soon he's going to be maxed out.
Yeah, but there's Reuters coming in as well. He's shipped some and he's created some of his own. Now, he's got a big military here. And, you know, Somppu is only a quarter of the way up.
Yeah.
And he really doesn't want to be fighting this, but he sort of has to. Which is not the sort of situation you want to be in.
No, he'd like to get up to the next stage, upgrade his units, but Dutch not going to let that happen.
Minutemen and an extra pop of hussars coming out there. Maybe it's enough to force Ace to back off a little bit.
Seems like it is fine. And Slumpy's going up with the Adventurer, 7 longbows.
Now he's going to sit here and destroy some more of the walls to make it a little bit easier for his military to get around the map.
To reinforce, yeah. Just to sort of like get through.
But Somppu is going for a bit of a counter raid, sending off a big group of hussars. And there's all these vulnerable villages out here.
As well as a falconet in queue at that artillery foundry.
Oh boy.
So it looks like the Vils are... the Vils, a couple will die. Looks like the foundry's safe for the time being. The Hussars aren't chilling out. But Aizamk is going to respond to that by pulling off a few Reuters. And that should be enough to handle it.
Cavalry combat coming in just then.
Yep, for Aiz. So the Reuters going to be... This is...
much stronger now.
A bit stronger, yep. And that's going to clean up the raid there. But now Somppu's up. And doesn't have Veteran on the way just yet, but will very, very shortly. And he does have a... He's got a foundry now with falconets in queue.
He's got 3 falconets out on the map now.
I mean, Somppu.
Oh, Somppu, sorry, yep.
But yeah.
But Aiz has the 3 falcons coming forwards.
And this is just a result of him being up faster and just sort of doing everything more quickly than the British here. 8 villagers coming in as a shipment.
I don't think I've ever seen that shipped before.
Somppu is, he's focused on that eco, that's for sure.
A question, what happens if you ship 8 vills when you're already at the vill limit?
If you're at 98 vils, you can ship it. If you're at 99, you can't.
Okay, so if you shipped it at 98, you can go over the vill limit.
That's right, yeah.
That's cool.
That's something you do in Treaty a lot. But Falconet has just arrived, but it looks like it might... No, it's these 2 Falcs I thought were going to snipe it. Instead, it looks like the Wargelders will do that.
Yep, it goes down, and Somppu does not look too good at the moment. These Falcs just bashing away at all of his army, and all these longbows, I guess they're pretty good against the Reuters, but the Hussars, when they get up in their face,
yeah,
doesn't look like a good fight.
Especially with Falconets in there.
Oh no, and the Tigers are being aggroed.
That might have been on... I don't think that was on purpose.
No, I think one of the cannonballs just bounced and hit one of them.
Oh, but they're attacking the red units. They had attacked the blue units if that were the case. I think maybe it was on purpose so that Mother Nature got the XP or something, but it was probably a misclick.
Probably misclick. And all the Vils are trying to go and bash down the Falconets. Going to get one, but losing a couple of villages at the same time. But actually, it seems that Sompu's defended this fairly well, taking down 2 of the Falcs. He's still got a couple of longbows in the back.
Yeah, he's lost 11 Vils here. So the 8 Vil shipment just seems a little... I'd like to have seen that be 10 longbows or something.
Or 2 Falcs or anything like that.
Yeah. But he thought he could get away with it, so that was perhaps a small mistake. But he seems to be okay. He's held...
And he's picking off the Falconet here.
That's right. He does pick it up. And he's got vet longbows, a bunch of goons here. And remember, he's got the stagecoach... That's not a stagecoach, actually. But he's got 2 trading posts.
He's securing that trading line.
He's got lots of Vils gathering over here. It's walled up. His TC still stands. Sompu's looking all right. It's fine.
And he's shipped the 10 longbows and the 5 Hussars now back to back. 2 big military shipments coming in. Now, if he can get these Falcs in range to get some shots off on these skirms, he could have favorable engagement. But there's also the 2 Falcs for Aiz. So it's all down to the cannon micro here.
Yep.
Who can get the best shots off? That
artillery control. Colvin Q for Aizamk. He's backing out of that. He doesn't want to flip the coin on
nope.
He doesn't want to test his Falc micro today. And that's fair enough. Let's just make Colvs. That's the easy way out. It's the safe way out.
The safe way out. As long as you're not being pressured, right? Like, you've got that time to make 2 or 3 Colvs if you need it.
Yeah. But I feel like the game's now moving into a new era, right? The previous was Sompu was in the colonial age. He was doing a lot of damage, but then Dutch managed to get up. And Dutch pushed out just as Sompu was, like, aging and before he got his upgrades in. But now, like, that's all out the way. The dust is sort of settled, and we find both players stabilized in the Fortress Age. And at this point in the game, it seems like that the British are 20 villagers up with 89 pop, and soon they're going to have the stagecoach as well if he gets that upgrade in. So after the dust is settled, I feel like I'm Team British here. They've got a lot of potential economically, and Dutch really needs to do something. But that's some cav. He's going to try and get them on top, but these houses and trees are really well placed to stop the cannons from being sniped down by those Hussars.
Hussars struggling to get in range, and there is the one cull firing away from behind the mosque there, but all the Falcs are down. They're all gone, and maybe Aiz is going to come out ahead here.
Sometimes I think I have no idea how to play this game.
We say one thing and then the opposite happens. 2 pops of Reuters coming in as well from the right-hand side, and now he has a huge military lead again.
And Dutch back in it. So this is what I was saying he needed to do. British was ahead on eco. He needs to, win a big fight here convincingly, and he's able to do it. I honestly thought those hussars were toast and that he would not get a lot done, but worked out just fine.
And there's a fort wagon coming forwards from A's. Oh boy.
That's a very A's thing to do.
He's just going to build a fort next to this TC.
Yeah, that's exactly where his Fort Ninigret goes down in the center of the map there.
I love it. Oh, and this Falk just popping out and getting instantly destroyed here.
Yeah, whoopsie daisy.
Well,
Maybe shouldn't have finished that batch there, or that Falk in general.
there's 2 batches of hussars coming in, but there's so many Reuters here. Almost 20 Reuters, and there's a couple of longbows, a couple of hussars, and that's it for Somppu here.
Longbows in hand combat.
Going for the Cull first.
There's 2 Falcon at shipment.
Oh, is he going to volley? Okay, he takes down the Cull first, and the Falcon's down, but he's going to lose both of his Falcons in a moment.
Yeah, and that fort has basically gone up now.
Yeah, he can't stop the fort, and once the fort's up, that just denies any sort of...
These units, well, it won't attack any buildings,
No,
but he will...
As soon as a unit pop comes out, it's going to start taking cannonballs to the face from the
Big
fort.
batch of Huss, though. But stand against Reuters, and more coming in as well as a fort. This isn't looking so good.
Not good at all.
British have still a stronger eco, remember?
Yeah, he does have Stagecoach on the right-hand side, but soon Ace can get Stagecoach on the right, because he's got all 3 of those TPs.
Yeah.
And now, Sompu's just lost total control of the middle here. He's going to lose his TC, he's going to lose the military buildings he has here. And there's no wall across this sort of like crossing here at the river. So these warriors can just run over here and maybe try to snipe all of these villages that are in this north side. There's nothing stopping them, and then they can run down this way and get across this crossing as well.
Yeah, thankfully Reuters are absolute garbage versus Phils, as you can see here. But
right, the hussars can follow up, but maybe these vills are going to get the wall up behind just in time.
He does need to plug the hole, which seems like he, will get that up just in
But
time.
the pillars?
No, he's done it. That's fine. Looks like British losing some map control here, and remember this fort can train units as well. 2 more cannons entering, and Dutch is getting the work he needs done.
Yes.
Somppu is training petards though, which I assume will be useful for killing the fort.
But his petards are like his artillery foundry in the north, I assume, right? I don't think he has any other artilleries.
And Somppu gonna give the GG there. And Aizamk pulls ahead onto match point.
4-2 lead. He's going to be pretty happy with that.
Oh, well done to Ace. I thought Somppu had that with so many extra vills. I guess that big fight really defined it in the middle there. Getting that fort up.
Do you think maybe
really
if he
nice.
shipped Yeoman?
What, as the British?
Yeah, to upgrade, because he had so many longbows a lot of the time.
Yeah, if you have a big mass of longbowmen, for sure. I feel like the eight vills was kind of a mistake.
Right, like if that could have been Yeoman or 10 more longbows or the 2 Falcons earlier or anything like that.
Any military shipment, yeah.
That might have possibly helped him even more.
Just needs to hang on to his vill lead and not die, but wasn't quite able to do that. Next up, I don't know because Twitch chat's covering it, but
Manchuria
that's
is up
it.
next.
Oh, I should know. I can see that on the very good job. Manchuria. Yeah, you got it. That's it. That'll do. Ah. Yep. All right.
So what civs? Okay, Ace has to pick first again in this match point. He's won with the Dutch. He's won with the British. He's won with the French. And he's won with the Ottomans.
Okay.
What's he going to pick
I feel
for
like
Manchuria?
we haven't seen that classic A's ports yet. And, what's it, Manchuria? That Ace has this port build. Well, he used to do what was called the 1010.
The 10-10. Okay.
where you don't make a house, you just make 10 villages because you're at 10 population out of 10 population.
Yeah, makes sense. And then you just up really quickly.
Yep. But he's decided that's not very good because on EP, the ports, they start with 1 less food crate. Their villages are cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't do that anymore. He does an 1120, which he says is just as good or something like that. The 1120 is now the new 1010, but it sounds like some weird numbers going on there.
It sounds a bit weird.
It sounds like
to
it would
make
be
that
bad.
house for just 1 villager.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you're going to have to make it at some point anyway.
I don't know, it says. But, okay, so no ports here.
Picking arrow.
I don't know what Eero... I don't know what the catch here was with Eero.
Well,
I mean, sure...
We've seen Somppu pick arrow twice as well.
We have. We have. And maybe they are good. I just think there's just no strat in particular that jumps out at me. Maybe they just, like, are a well-rounded civ and an extra TC is just fine. Germany, though, will be picked from Somppu. Okay.
Interesting. So Germans, he's probably not going to think about going for water very much. A's arrow, probably also not going to go for water.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see much water here. But then it is EP, remember. Water's fine with any civ. Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, like those big commitments like schooners, right? And things like that. Probably not going to be the case, especially with Germany. They don't have schooners.
Well, there's been a bit of a discussion about whether schooners is really worth it anyway, right?
Yeah, that's
whether
true.
just doing ATP is better. Sorry, blow up, advanced docking. How's the weather in Manchuria? We might find out in a moment. We can see there's a bit of an offshore breeze blowing the waves in.
That's true. And there's a sunken treasure ship, which presumably got stuck on one of those rocks. And to the east, west rather, we see birds flying over in this beautiful, serene wilderness. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing what Germany will do. I think it's another one of those civs that I don't think we'll see the TC be placed at home. I'm wondering if it will be placed forward and be used as like a jumping off point. Here he is, Somppukunkku, in the north of the map. In the color red, playing as the Germans there. We'll see where the TP goes in a moment. Right next to his base. Okay, so I just... Unless, I don't know, I want to see some sort of fast industrial. I want to be right about that for once. This is the first time Somppu has placed it, like, basically next to his starting TC, right? Usually we see him go across the map.
Trying to get, not necessarily forward map control, just different area of eco, right? Securing a hunt somewhere else that's not in his base, spread his eco around a little bit, be a little bit safer. But A's, on the other hand, he is doing the forward TC again, as he has quite often. But it also secures himself some gold mines and some more hunts.
Yep. Oh, pardon me.
Excuse you. So we see on the bottom left corner of the map, edge of the map, side of the map, we have A's playing here as the Iroquoise. And he is chopping a lot of wood early in the game. That's not really... And he's already got a dock, by the way. He has built a dock just here.
Wonderful.
So we were saying we're probably not going to see any water from either player.
I think A's is just listening, right? He just wants to prove us wrong every time.
Yep. He's just in on that 2-minute spec delay.
Okay, so going to start immediately with a dock and start training fishing boats. They are only 70 wood, and I have really no idea why he's decided to go for that so quickly. Let's take a look at his deck. Has Fish Market in there, which is, you know, the one and only food upgrade, or fish upgrade in general.
Is it really the only one?
Oh, actually, okay, here's what he's done. Right. Yeah, he's not got any other fish.
All right, he hasn't got any, but there are others that he could choose to use.
Yeah. So what he's done is, you know how we talked about you don't need to turn your travois into a house?
Yep.
So he's turned it into a dock.
Right.
Right.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
That's a free dock. and then he just needs the wood for fishing ships.
But he's already got 2 TCs to make vills from, and also making boats from a dock seems like a lot, right? Why would you build fishing ships when you can make villages?
Because you can do all of them.
But he's not, though. If we go to units in queue, oh, maybe he is. He's got 2 vills in queue.
And he's already made 3 fishing ships, right? Like, I think he could probably just stop chopping wood now.
But
and just go fully on food, and then those 3 fish.
Remember, he still needs to age up.
No, he doesn't.
At some point, he has to go to...
Nah. If you make enough villagers, you can kill whatever army he makes with purely villagers.
I see. Okay, I'm obviously missing it.
You do the villager rush, man.
Okay, so... Yeah, he's gotten 3 boats out by the looks of it. He's not training any more villagers. And fair enough. That's what he wants to do with this Discovery Traveller.
And he's still, 7 vills up. Well, I guess that doesn't include the fact that settler wagons... Oh, right, I'm not counting the settler wagons. Never mind. They are a separate unit.
So, Somppu, he's built his trading post... he has built a trading post, but he's built his town centres right next to each other. Let's take a look at his deck. Okay, so this is more of a Fortress Age, Industrial Age deck. Maybe we will see him go up to that Industrial Age and start trying to get out these really strong shipments. 12 skirms in there, 2 heavy cannons and fusiliers, the winged hussars, all of these things. And placing the TCs next to each other is going to give him a better shot at defending. So that's my plan. That's my sort of guess as to what his game plan probably is. He's now getting up to the next stage. And it looks like Somppu has stuck with his sort of what he's done every game, which is using both the TCs, right? Whereas we've seen a lot of the time A is not doing that.
Well, I think this time A's actually has been using both of them.
He has been. And he's not been using them as much as Somppu, though, has he?
Well, it's fairly even. Like, he's on... Like, if you include the fish that he's making...
Yeah, now that he's got the age up in queue, he's starting to retrain them, but sort of stopped before Somppu by the looks of it. Both players going up
first. So
to the next stage. Somppu going up with the Quartermaster, which will give him 400 wood. And the Wise Woman, which is going to give him 500 food. No, crates. Yes. God, I don't know the Iroquois. All of their... God damn it.
Yes, it is the food crates. Well, actually, it's a mix of crates, it seems. There's some food and some wood and some gold crates.
Right.
At the forward, TC's dropped it.
Okay. The Wise Woman. Yeah, it's 200 food, a gold, and a wood. There it is. Okay, we know.
Nice.
Because it's different for the Sioux and it's different for the... Right. Buddy's up. Warhawk going down.
Forwards a little bit just to secure his space. He's also got some tomahawks already.
Where did he get them from?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's the big button, right? The Tomahawk big button upgrade. But it's only 4. You get 5 from that. Okay, well...
there's a 5th one somewhere on the map.
Text complete. Yeah, he got the Iroquois scouting part. Oh, it's back here.
He left one behind.
Going to follow up with 4 Canyon Horsemen.
Lots of aggression pretty quickly.
Okay, I quite like that. He's able to just get some units out right away. Start dealing some damage here. He's gonna pick up a villager, which would be quite nice.
For sure. But Somppu is not making a military building.
No, maybe he's just looking to send 700 gold and do some sort of like straight fast fortress.
I think that's probably what he's thinking.
Yeah. Well,
but he doesn't like have the food really ready to go, and he doesn't have a lot of hunts in his base, right?
No, but maybe it's okay, right? He can send crossbows or something, or some sort of military unit shipment. And with the 2 TCs, it's probably enough to defend. You see, A has started quite aggressive, right, with 4 Kanya and the Tomahawks, and wasn't really able to get much done. He can't really push in here. Those town centers blocking him quite a lot.
But he's able to go kill the trading post. He's going to secure, or not secure, he's going to deny the trading line.
Yeah, which has already got the stagecoach upgraded. So this is a nice use of those units.
Right, and okay, we've seen the crossbow shipment as well as just come in for Somppu. He's got the 4 Ulans now, 8 crossbows, and they're all actually pretty equal in terms of what their army is. They've both got like 4 or so horsemen and then 8 or so infantry. But A's, you got to get your Kanyas in there.
Yeah, he's not looking great here until the Kanyas arrive, and that's going to be enough there. But Germany can be quite scary, right? Because just 1 8 crossbow shipment And if you keep the Uhlans you saved up from the previous shipments, you can get quite a big army quite quickly. But is going to ultimately bring down this trading post.
But not before it gets one more pass.
Yeah, and I think that was secured by, you know, the crossbows walking in there and sort
Just
of threatening
them a little bit, yeah.
God, we're so in sync, Robo. It's brilliant.
Okay. 700 coin coming in. He's now got the food. He's going to click up the fortress in just a second.
Yep.
And it's pretty quick fortress.
Yeah, 7 minutes 30 there. He's kind of done like what you were saying about in AoE2, where you skip the feudal age. You just sort of gather, make enough vills so that you can go straight to castle as soon as you hit feudal. It feels like kind of what he's doing here. He trained extra vills in age 1, and then going straight to the fortress age.
He's just done the bare minimum. He sent 8 crossbows because he had to, and then up right afterwards.
Yeah, but was able to squeeze in 3 settler wagons, which is a really nice shipment. And as you said, 8 crossbows just to defend a little bit there.
Ooh,
Ace is
going for treasure here.
Yeah, a 10% in cavalry siege. And why not, right? Because you get the XP for killing the guardians, and there's nothing else you can really do. This trading post is...
And he also converts a Mongol rider. They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, 310 HP. It's something to do with his units, I suppose, because this is hard to siege, and there's nothing really he's able to push in here against.
I reckon there's another cavalry-related treasure over here that makes your cavalry faster.
By 5%.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the TAD treasures, they sort of do that. The best ones are on Deccan, though, the 10% hit points.
And this one up here is 10% less training time.
Okay.
Kind of useful.
Yeah, not as good as hit points, but sure.
No, but it's still a nice little cavalry buff, it seems. And we see a stable coming down from Ace as well with his Travois coming forwards.
There is the corral, yep. But both players now fortress. Ace kind of snuck up there, didn't he?
Yeah, we didn't really mention it at all because we weren't really paying any attention to him. He's actually got 2 stables. Actually, I should say he's got one next to his TC as well.
Fact, Ace got up just at about basically the same time as Somppu did, more or less, by 1 second difference.
Whew. The timings.
Somppu has said that. Okay, so now coming in, he's got forest prowlers out, some tomahawks. I think 1 villager went down there from Somppu.
But this only the 1 stable so far from Somppu. Is he going to go like war wagons?
Yeah, they do cost a lot, right? So it might be the 1 unit that you can train from only having a single stable and still being able to keep your resources spent down.
Because I don't think making full Uhlans is going to be amazing because the tomahawks are pretty good anti-cav, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he has got Uhlans in queue, and I don't think it'll be super hard for him to build another building. He's got both the stagecoaches back, some villagers on wood. Maybe he'll add in another building soon, but he doesn't need a barracks right now or a stable because what he's doing is aging up. He's going straight to the industrial age.
Straight to industrial, yeah.
Going to be going up with the engineer, which will give him two falconets. And yeah, I think this very much is, his game plan is let's get to the industrial age, let's start. But there's some skirmishes to kind of hold.
He sort of needs them, but there's a lot of Kanya horsemen here.
There is.
Huge military here from Ace. Oh.
But he's got the TCs and the Minutemen working away there.
But it still looks like Ace is coming out ahead in this fight.
But all Somppu needs to do is trade evenly. If he can, survive, getting to the industrial age will be really, really good. But, yeah, you're right. Those Kanyas have just
and more shipments, musket riders coming in across the map as well.
Torn him a new one almost. Or not almost, just has.
They have, definitely. He's ahead in eco. He's got the fish, remember. And now he's in industrial with 2 Falks. Alone, unprotected between his 2 TCs. Yeah. That is not what you want to see. He's trying to quickly drop down some walls to defend the Falks, but oh no.
It doesn't really.
The Kanyas just run in there, destroy 1 Falk, 2 Falks instantly destroyed. And there's just nothing in queue for Somppu. He's got no food. He's only got wood and a little bit of coin, and there's nothing he can really make at the moment. So he's basically relying on one of his shipments. Which one of his shipments is going to save him?
That winged hussars is quite good. You don't get any Uhlans with it, but it is quite good. But I think he's stacking a lot of gold. Maybe he'll send the Fusiliers. They're basically muskets. They'll be really strong against all this cavalry. There's the Polish winged hussars.
They're essentially guard hussars, correct?
That's literally what they are, yeah. They're guard hussars. So the hussars arrive, but against musket riders and tomahawks, that is the trouble, right? When you've got no other supporting units, you're just sort of at the whim of...
whatever your opponent's making, right?
Yeah. But they are really strong.
Oh, but he's leading A's towards where he has a couple of settler wagons on the right side, but no, they didn't notice.
Thankfully weren't spotted there. The next shipment could well be...
Fusiliers?
If he can get the gold for it.
He's got a lot of wood, and he's got a market, just, you know, sell.
I guess so.
Because, like, what else is he going to spend the wood on? Units in queue. There's nothing being queued up. Okay, he's trying to build an outpost up near his coin to defend this. He's got another stable there, queuing a couple of Ulans.
Okay, so it looks like the next shipment is kind of on... Well, these hussars look like they were getting eager to come in there. Yeah, now coming in. 8 Tomahawks does arrive for A's, though. And I think we're about to see 14 skirms. I don't think it'll be Fusiliers. But more musket riders coming in. And even more, and the Tomahawks that I mentioned there.
Oh, man.
I think he's just trying to save the TC. But ultimately going to lose those hussars. And I've seen fast industrials work miracles, but it's looking tough. A's is just keeping the pressure on. 14 skirms, there they are.
And a couple of Ulans as well, but as soon as the Kanya, there's not really any Kanya around anymore. So the skirmers might be okay at picking off the infantry and ranged cavalry.
Yeah, they're good at the skirms are actually really solid against all of these units here once these Kanyas go down. But there's just so many blue things.
Yeah, so much military
and
out.
Units just rallying in from across the map, as you can see.
Constant stream of units. And the musket riders just going into melee combat. More musket riders just coming in, and it looks like... I think I'm going to have to call it here. I think Somppu...
Putting the musket riders in hand combat as well, just to use them as almost cavalry.
Yeah, do the best he can, and Somppu's just got nothing left. He's got a church, which is...
He hasn't sent advanced church, though. So it's not...
Yeah, what does it actually do for him, though?
Where is it?
Up in the north?
Oh,
Yep,
he's building it to pray to God.
Right.
So, because he needs to... That's the only thing that will save him now.
Gotcha. And now, A's just
5
destroying everything.
Coming in as well for A's. Still streaming units across the map. I guess advanced... Like, has he got it in his deck? No, I don't know what the church is for. I really have no idea what the church is for.
And there's 2 outposts here to defend it, but A's doesn't really care. He's just like, whatever. Just going straight for the church, thinking there might be some risky business coming out of this thing. Let's just take it down.
A's just sea boom. Just a few still
Don't
going.
forget about that. 2 heavy cannons popping out. Can he get some big shots off?
Some big follery doos.
No. Well, that was okay, but not really what you want to be seeing. You want to be seeing, 20 units dying per shot, not just 4.
Yeah, I get the cavalry have got this, right?
Yeah.
Takes them both down.
5 musket riders as well. Just constantly streaming in military units from A's.
Yeah, he's literally, if you don't count the crates, he sent, what, just nothing but military this whole... Just kept the pressure up this whole time since he got to industrial. Or fortress, even.
Yeah, there's not much really to say here, I think. We're just waiting for Somppu. There we are.
And A's does go 5-2. There is no 5th button. But congratulations to Aizamk. Wins another Smackdown under his belt. Has he lost a Smackdown that he's played in? I don't think he's lost a Smackdown that he's played in. I think A's might well be undefeated. He really does well in these unusual formats, right? Where you start with, well, extra TCs here. I don't know. What did you think of it then, compared to, I guess, regular AoE3? Because we've done a lot more wacky stuff. I think starting with an extra TC isn't actually as unusual as some of the other things we've done, because it's kind of natural and normal feeling, right?
I haven't really watched any of the other wacky Smackdowns, so I can't really talk about the comparison, but I thought this was really interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't think it actually greatly increases the game length.
No, it hasn't seemed to have
Like, I feel
done
like
that.
it maybe speeds up individual age timings and things like that,
Yeah.
but overall game lengths on average don't seem to be much longer.
Okay. It does seem that way. I think that, like, if you really did average it out over many, many games, we probably would see slightly or longer games on average, but it's hard to know from just 9 games here. I think that's the beauty of these ideas, though. You never really get to fully find out how it would work, except this one time, because tomorrow we will be doing...
We'll be doing the 2 Towns tournament.
That's right. And
There's Ham.
Hello, Ham. Welcome to the stream, I guess. Here you can see the score.
Final scoreline 5-2 for Aizamk.
Yep, with a gustily waves of civs.
And we see the wins that he had. He won with the British. He won with the French. He then lost the next 2 games, though.
Because his opponent won with Ottoman, followed by Russia.
But then he takes the 3 final games with the Ottomans, the Dutch, and then the Iroquois.
God, it's really hard to be a weatherman.
Right, because like every time he walks forward, he steps over the front of the other things.
Well, I don't know, like... I don't know many weatherman-sounding things to say.
Well, who listens to the weather anymore? You just Google it on your phone,
Yeah,
right?
That's true, that's true.
Like,
But yes, tomorrow we will be doing the 2 Towns tournament, where a 64-player bracket's worth of people will be putting their minds to how this format should be played. But seems like Ottomans are pretty good. Maybe we'll see lots of Ottos tomorrow. Maybe we won't. But yes, A's does win 5-2. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. If you have any ideas or suggestions for future Smackdowns, let us know. Do tell us on Discord and in the YouTube comments if you're listening there, or wherever you like. We will find them, and the good ideas we really would like to try out.
keep them in mind. We'll see what we can do.
Smackdown is brought to you by, in part, well, the community, but also Escape. There is a Patreon for Smackdown. It's specific to Smackdown, which is what we just saw today, where we do these unusual and wacky formats. And we have the slight alterations to politicians just to add more options to the game and see if the players will use them and see if there are other things to explore.
And to be honest, that actually seemed quite common today. We saw the food shipment, which costs 100 less food, I believe.
Yeah.
The age up.
Rather than 800 food, it costs 700 food.
So we've seen that quite often
you also
here.
get 100 less food as in crates.
Well, I feel like that actually balances out, because that essentially allows you to make one extra villager.
Yeah.
And then still be able to age up at the normal time.
Well,
with the extra TC, right?
Oh, that's true. In this particular format.
In this format, it seems fairly popular. I think A's did it quite often.
A's has played a lot, like... A's has been one of the more sort of notable players when it comes to sort of using those options, the available options on the map, or, you know, like in Ceylon we saw him using, what was it? The Catamaran.
Yeah, whatever the units the Catamaran made.
Whereas, like, I think last week we had Luke Tom versus Kickass, and they didn't really explore those options at all, which is fair enough. Like, it isn't supposed to be that you use the brand new politicians every time. But I think A's is just particularly creative, and he likes to experiment with things there. So yeah, really interesting to see, and I'm excited to see what players bring tomorrow. But shall we read out the points, Robo?
Yes.
Would you like to do the honors?
Or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, why not?
Do you have a preferred order that I read them out in?
From last to first.
Last to first?
What other order is there?
Okay. Well, you gave me shit last time because I went first because, you know, they're the winner and they're the ones that matter. But in 5th place, Iluka with 897 points. 4th, Jopar 24 with 958 points. And the next, Momo Breeze with 1,048. In 2nd place, the runner-up, Dark Knight, 1,097. And then our winner, Eddie Holland.
Our boy Eddie.
Legend of the community with 1,313 points.
So congratulations.